into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
A very good morning, you beautiful people. Welcome to it once more, your feel-good breakfast show. It is Tuesday, the 29th of October. My name is Katlego Maboya, reporting for duty on what will be a show equal parts inspiring and entertaining as well. It's a health-packed Tuesday morning. Healthy-looking Graham Richards there.
Feeling it, man. I'm feeling the health, man.
What was that? What was that move?
It's a little jive.
It reminds me of those moves they do at the aerobic classes. It looks a little bit like that.
Might get a bit aerobic being a medical Tuesday. We're looking after the body. In fact, we're attacking the book this morning.
And we need to.
Because it's now summer body time.
Exactly.
And if you weren't working on your summer body during winter, which is, I think, the rule, it's not too late.
You still have time to kill the boop and turn it into a stoop. No.
The stairs to the stoop, man.
That's true, actually. So we're going to be helping you do that today in our health-packed medical Tuesday, Health Tuesday.
Buddy, do you have allergies?
I actually don't. There was a time in my life when I think I was allergic to guava. I know, right? So guava wasn't my thing. But ever since then, I don't. Like pollen and hay
I'm going to find out
fever.
today. I'm going to get tested to see if I have a pollen allergy. There's a lot going around. I've been feeling quite sinusy, so we'll see. I know I've got a shellfish allergy, which is well documented on the show. But yeah, really interested. So I'm going to do the little test. The little.
And then they mark it, and then
they just say it's like a little prick, but we'll see it.
Are you squeamish when it comes to needles?
I never used to be, but as the older I've gotten, the more I have. So we'll see. But I'll be
there to hold your hand.
Thank you, man. I'll take one for the team today. But yeah, really interested to see how the test plays out.
And we'll also be talking about something called Juvenile idiopathic arthritis. If that's got your
kiddies' arthritis.
Basically, I will be chatting all about that today in our health-packed Tuesday show. Let's take a look at what we're saying on social media. Expresso Morning Show SABC3 is where you can find us. So have you ever been for an allergy test?
Uncle Tubbsy's asking you.
Yeah, have you? With a point. What did you find you're allergic to? Yeah, exactly. So let us know. How did it go for you, and how are you managing those allergies? I know some people are very allergic to nuts.
It must, and that's heavy. Like, you know, they've now banned them on airplanes. I mean, that's a serious one. Shellfish, serious one. Maybe you can relate to me, the pain of never being able to eat a prawn again. First world problems, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm surviving. I am surviving. It's tough, but
all right.
surviving.
Well, listen, we always want to inspire and motivate you at the start of a brand new day. Let's do that right now.
We do like to inspire and motivate you throughout the day. We're going to be doing this all the way through to 9 o'clock. Good morning. It's your Uncle Tabsy over here. But first, we take a look at those temperatures across those major parts of the country, hopefully setting you up and helping you dress appropriately for the day. We start off in Johannesburg this morning, where it's sunny conditions that can be expected, with temperatures that are not as warm as the day before, but of course they are pleasant, and a southwesterly breeze. You can expect that over there. As the evening approaches, cloud cover will increase and the wind will die down. If you're out in South Africa's playground, I'm talking about Durban. That's for you. Cloudy conditions with occasional sunshine and a light southeasterly breeze that will die down for the evening, and towards the evening, cloud cover decreases with humidity increasing. So today you get to enjoy a break from the break if you're out in Durban. Port Elizabeth, sunny day, plenty of sunshine for you with a strong southwesterly wind for the entire day. And as the day progresses, clear to partly cloudy conditions are expected. A nice day, temperatures ranging between 11 and 19 degrees. So hold on to your hats. If you're in Cape Town, the mother city, intervals of clouds and sunshine with cooler temperatures, and cloud cover will increase as the day progresses with a westerly wind. So humidity will remain steady and temperatures become chilly towards the evening. And that's what it's looking like in those major parts of the country. Hopefully you're ready in terms of your wardrobe and what you're going to be wearing today. For me, I am keeping it printed today. Tuesday style is loading, ladies and gents. I'm donning a really bold and fabulous summer print printed t-shirts from Woolworths this morning. These are so cool and they're so versatile. And I've paired it with a bit more of a tailored trouser to balance out that relaxed, casual vibe. You want to bring that through. You want that to come through because you don't want to be too casual sometimes. Blue is the hue for summer, don't say I didn't tell you. And you'll see more of it as we unpack more trends throughout the week right here in the beauty room. Don't forget, this t-shirt is a total winner. It's perfect with chino shorts. It's perfect with flip-flops. It's perfect with summer pool or beach day. It's perfect for denims and jackets, night out on the town, going out on that date. It's a must-have summer essential for all of you gents out there who take their look seriously. And I hope you're inspired to go get yourself some print and lots of hues of blue.
And of course, every day when we start the day, we'd like to give you some words of inspiration, motivation, to give you the enthusiasm and energy you need to take on a brand new day. As much as we try to inspire the box.
But you know what it feels like? Yeah,
What?
It feels like you're a coach when you're walking. I feel like I'm in the dressing room.
I had the stride, I had the pacing of the delivery. It was all in there. Of course you can.
And you're like coming in with your inches. Sports is all about inches. So this is our quote. It's simple, it's powerful. Be positive and give yourself credit for the smallest efforts. Pat yourself on the back, man. You are okay.
Because sometimes that mountain can seem like just
insurmountable.
Insurmountable,
man.
and then you just take one small step, and then you got to look back, and you're like, wow,
I've done it.
You know, I'm a bit further than I was yesterday, and that's enough motivation to keep me going one more step further. So don't give up on yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself the credit you deserve for the work that you've done, understanding that there's still more to be done, but keeping positive.
Said like a man who still has 3 hours of live TV ahead of him this morning. I was like,
come on.
You've made it this far, but we can do it, man. Now be positive, go out there. It's a choice, ultimately, so go and make that choice this morning. Let's get positive, see if we can remain positive as we broach today's news headlines.
Thank you, gents. Let's take a look at those news headlines across the globe. Water and Sanitation Minister Lindiwe Sisulu yesterday assured South Africans that the current water shortage facing the country was receiving the highest level of attention from government. Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan will release a special paper on the government's plans to reform struggling state power firm Eskom today. Ratings agencies cite the financial and operational crisis at Eskom as one of the biggest risks to South Africa's economy. In international headlines, the main opposition party in Botswana, the Umbrella for Democratic Change, says it's preparing court papers to dispute the outcome of last week's general elections. The Botswana Democratic Party won the election with 38 seats, followed by the UDC with 25. Huge sections of California remain under a red flag warning as extreme seasonal winds continue to fan flames from northern California's wine country, or rather county, to the state's border with Mexico. And finally, rugby fans in the country are elated by the good news that the SABC will be broadcasting the 2019 Rugby World Cup final this coming weekend. This means every single South African can now be part of the excitement on Saturday. Meanwhile, Springbok coach Rassie Erasmus says his team is accustomed to the way England's Roses play and won't be caught unawares. The Springboks played England 4 times in the last 18 months, and it's 2-2, 3 tests in South Africa, and 2 tests in South Africa, and the last one was at Twickenham. The final is a repeat on the 2007 version, where John Smith's team overcame surprise finalists England 15-6. Erasmus is expecting the final to be a very tight affair. And on that note, we take a look at those news headlines that come as far as sports is concerned with Graham.
Thank you so much, Uncle Tubbsy. Let's dive right in, of course, with the 2019 Rugby World Cup. Finalists South Africa and England are now the top 2 rugby teams in the world. That's according to the latest World Rugby rankings that were released yesterday. So England is the top team, with South Africa currently in second. Then South African pro surfer Jordy Smith, who is having an incredible year, claimed his 3rd runner-up result at the MEO Rip Curl Pro Portugal event this weekend. That was after he was defeated by old foe Brazilia's Italo Ferreiro. Then on the tennis front, 20-time Grand Slam winner Roger Federer claimed an impressive 10th Swiss indoors title. That was with an emphatic 6-2, 6-2 win over Australian Alex de Minaur in Basel. And in golf, Tiger Woods won the Zozo Championship in Japan to equal Sam Snead's PGA Tour record of 82 victories. That was after completing a 3-under-par 67 to beat local favourite Hideki Matsuyama at the Accordia Golf Narashino Country Club. We'll expand on all of those headlines as we progress this morning, but let's give you a broader sweep of today's weather.
Thank you very much, Graham. We've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures bright and early this morning. Thank you so much to Casey Volhunter for sending us the sunrise from Balito in KZN, where cloudy conditions can be expected with a shower in places this morning, reaching a maximum of 20 degrees. Tina King also sent us her sunrise picture from Johannesburg, where plenty of sunshine can be expected today, with temperatures that are not as warm as the day before, but they will be pleasant, reaching that maximum of 26 degrees. Well, we invite you to send in your sunrise picture on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. Show us what it's looking like in your part of the country. And now we take a look at those temperatures. Starting off in Polokwane, 14, reaching a high of 28, with a couple of showers expected today for Mbombela. Rainy day, 14, that's your low, reaching a high of 19. It's sunny out in Pretoria, also the highest temperatures in the country, 13, that's your minimum. Your maximum temperatures, 29 degrees. Johannesburg, 11 and 26. If you're out in Mahikeng, it's a sunny day for you, 11, reaching a high of 28, with sunny Klerksdorp starting off at 6, reaching that high of 26 degrees today. Kimberley, tons of sun and clouds today, 3, reaching a maximum of 22, with Bloemfontein starting off at a low of 2, reaching a high of 22. Heavy rainfall is expected for Richards Bay, 14, that's your low, reaching a high of 20, with a couple of showers also for Pietermaritzburg, 10, reaching a high of 19. If you're out in Durban, a light drizzle for you, 16, reaching a high of 22, with Mthatha coming through sunny today, 6, peaking at 24. East London will start off at 12, reaching a high of 21, with Craddock sitting at 1 and 23 today. A southwesterly wind traveling at 43 kilometers per hour is expected for Port Elizabeth, 12, reaching a maximum of 19, with a southwesterly wind for George, 30 kilometers per hour, that's how fast it's going, 10, reaching a high of 19. And the lowest temperatures in the country, that's for Sutherland, -2, that's your start, reaching that high of 13. Cape Town, the mother city, 9 and 16, with high humidity for Worcester, 4, reaching a maximum of 16. Sunny Springbok, 5 and 21. And lastly, Upington, your low today is 7, reaching a high of 23. Well, no matter what the weather's looking like in your part of the country on this beautiful Tuesday, we're going to make it a feel-good type of day.
Ah, yes, a moment to savor right now with the one and only Princess who was trending yesterday on social media.
You trended yesterday.
Princess, do you know that?
Yes.
But don't trend that. Do you know why you were trending?
Yes.
She gave the best ever score prediction ever.
It was, yeah, it's exactly how the final's going to turn out between the Springboks.
It's going to be a 2 and there's going to be a 1 involved, and that's what we
Absolutely.
know.
What are you serving up this morning?
I don't want to seem
I have a
desperate.
surprise for the Americano with a bit of syrup for you.
Okay.
And the latte for you.
Latte for me.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll take that.
Thank you, dear.
Very, very
Thank
much.
you so much. I really appreciate it. So, I'm getting excited about the Olympics already. Okay.
Wow, you're
2020.
there.
I'm
Yes.
there, man.
Okay.
And it sounds like two very famous faces are also getting quite excited. Talking about Mario and Sonic are going to the Olympics. We know we're going to get into a bit of gaming after the break. Really cool idea. They're going to be in Tokyo in 2020, apparently.
Very, very exciting stuff. I was actually with Uncle Bert Leclos yesterday.
Oh, nice.
The Fives footy. How are you doing?
no,
Yeah, he was
very
there to
good, man.
support his son while he's going to be taking a trip
Cool, man.
to go and see Chad training for the Olympics, hopefully getting his
man.
Olympic qualification.
Yeah, it's
but
gonna be a good
yes,
year for him.
all the excitement, all the entertainment contained right here on this little set of ours on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, which continues right after these. Says Princess, you're a trendsetter. Get
Only
inside.
the highest grade Arabica beans. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
Only you can make my day.
Save big this week with Dion Wired. Samsung Note 10 for 18,999.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Save big this week with Dion Wired. Live your best life with the Fitbit Versa 2 for 3,999. Work it up with a Dell Inspiron 2-in-1 laptop for 11,999. Get a Samsung 12-kilogram Eco Bubble washing machine for a squeaky clean 14,999. Impress with a PlayStation 4 and FIFA 20 for only 8,499. And feel the power with a Samsung Note 10 for 18,999.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show, live, large and in charge. It's a Tuesday morning. Happy Tuesday, Travel Tuesdayers, Health
for
Tuesdayers.
choosing.
Thanks for choosing Tuesday.
with us.
It's going to be a good one. Listen, let's update you quickly on some of the latest stories we found concerning technology. There's a new electric toothbrush out.
Cool.
Toothbrush.
It's the truth. It's telling the truth.
That's been launched. It costs a whopping $220 US.
Sure,
What's
okay.
that?
What does it do?
$2.5 grand?
Yeah.
no,
more
more like
three.
Oh my word! So why it's so
okay.
expensive? It uses It uses AI to tell you when you're brushing poorly, and this toothbrush connects to an app on your phone over Bluetooth, and then so when you start brushing, the app will show you a timer showing you how long you've been brushing and guide you as to where you should brush next. So supposedly
There's a
there's
lot
like
going
some
on,
kind of map of your mouth. Okay, so it uses sensors to know exactly when you're applying too much pressure or not brushing long enough in a certain spot, and then it sends that data over to the sensors in the app. So then the app takes the sensor data and uses the Genius XAI algorithm to tell you where you then need to brush better and give a rating on gives you a rating on how you've brushed. So that's crazy.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
cool, man. You've got to
the
keep your
cost
teeth
is
for life,
justified then. It makes total sense.
Really?
But then how often do you have to
Really?
change this toothbrush is the question.
Look, I don't know if I'd like that feature on a toothbrush essentially, because it's supposed to be a 2-minute process where you
just try
you're
harder.
30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds.
But look, I mean, that being said, your teeth are one of your greatest investments. You know, you've got to keep them for whole life. You want to look after
And you're
them.
not going to get others. If these ones go bad, you must just know that's it. R.I.P.
Apparently, also, this is not the company's first connected toothbrush. They released a Bluetooth-enabled toothbrush way back in 2014, which could be programmed with the help of a dentist. And then it launched its Genius line of toothbrushes in 2016, but then earlier models needed to use your smartphone's camera to allow you to follow your brushing. So you'd be like,
I want to be seeing it.
selfie.
Look, it does feel like a lot of effort for brushing your teeth, like you say, for something that should be relatively simple. But hey, man, all for dental health.
But it's for people who love to indulge in brushing their teeth and take their time and they enjoy that.
So you're going to say you like to just express their wealth with expensive
Even if you're an indulgent brusher, do you need an app to tell you that not brushing long enough in your back molars.
I think it's cool, man. Just all towards a smart home. Everything is smarter.
These guys are
And
the
next,
Tesla.
smart toilet paper. That tells you
Without the
that
cameras,
Yeah,
right?
there we go. That's where you
No.
just
The
don't
earlier
use
models
the
have to
camera.
have the cameras. The earlier models have to use
These guys are the Tesla of.
Oh, man, well now you've made it almost impossible for me to segue into the next cool story that we've got, but I'm going to try. So most of the alternative meats that we eat nowadays, okay, we've explored some pretty interesting kind of variations here, including products like Impossible Burger, actually plant-based. Okay, so a lot of them will also be made out of soy, that sort of thing. A number of startups are still working on ethical meat that's grown from actual animal cells, giving you a real burger without obviously the cruelty element or climate change issues. We know how much, you know, sort of just petrol, for instance, is being used transporting meat and grain. So they can be a little bit mushy because they lack the collagen that is present in real muscle tissue that gives meat its structure. So there's no way to really create steaks, you know, which are quite fibrous. So now a Harvard University researcher, a group of them have found a way to simulate real meat by growing cow and rabbit muscle cells on a little mini scaffolding that they've created out of gelatin.
Wow.
So they create the little scaffolding, the network, and then they let the meat go through that. So the scaffold is made from the collagen extracted from the skin, bones, and connective tissues of domesticated animals. And it's not only edible, but closely mimics the way in which collagen adds a succulent texture to meat when it's been cooked. But then you've got to let it rest. I cooked a steak last night. You've got to let it rest, and then it gets relaxed and chilled. So the results are promising, but as with lab-grown burgers, you're not likely to see alternative steaks on your plate anytime soon unless you are a scientist. So scientists and bioengineers still need to figure out how to grow them at a scale in bioretractor facilities to keep up with the expected demand. So, I mean, at the moment, they're making like miniature little steaks.
There's a very simple solution to what these guys are doing. I don't know if they've tried it in their scientific research while they're trying to...
What is it?
We should all just maybe eat less meat.
Okay.
Like in the week.
I like the idea of being able to
cut
order about, like, I want a 3-kilogram dinosaur steak and just being able to replicate that. I don't know.
I really think we should eat less meat.
And then think how much additional work your electric toothbrush sensor and AI are going to do to getting all the meat particles out of your
The idea of eating less meat seems to terrify
You're going to tell your...
I'm not sure very much.
What other
strong
models?
African
How much
man
less meat?
wants to eat his meat, man.
Is it like cutting out Saturday? I don't know.
It does feel like a long way around.
Dion Wired, where humans go for technology.
Oh man, from all of that meat chat and brushing your teeth with AI-inspired intelligent toothbrushes to the world of gaming. And this morning we joined Gareth Woods and Tulu in Joburg as they tackle each other to a game of Mario and Sonic. It's based on the Olympic Games of Tokyo 2020. Celebrate with your favorite characters in this action-packed 3D game. Let's see if Tulu was able to keep up on the Nintendo Switch.
We are with our resident gaming expert, Gareth Woods, and I'm going to pretend like he didn't just beat me in Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, which is a game exclusive to Nintendo. Gareth, tell us a little bit about what this game is all about.
Yeah, so we know the Olympic Games are coming up in 2020 in Tokyo, and so Mario and Sonic are, I suppose, teaming up, you know, to take on the Olympics. So you got all your favorite kind of Olympic games. There's a story mode, so you can play through this adventure of all the naughty guys from the Nintendo universe. So Bowser and Robotnik have tried to like sabotage everyone, and by accident they teleport back in time. So it's this pixelated story mode. It's a lot of fun, but where the real action is, as we've seen here, is when you play with the multiple players, everybody grab a controller and you play some of your favorite games. We've just done the 110-meter hurdles, or at least I did. I'm not sure what you were doing. But let's try maybe one of the other games. Do you want to?
Let's do that, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So just got to show off my podium position there, first place, representing South Africa.
I'm nowhere to be seen, of course.
Hopefully we will do more than just my one gold, but let's choose a new event. Let's see what else we got here. So obviously it's not all the events in the Olympics because there are dozens and dozens, but it's some of your favorite ones, and then a couple of weird ones as well, like some karate and shooting games. But do you want to choose one? What else should we do, Luca?
Let's try boxing.
Okay, let's try some boxing.
Let's
Cool.
try some boxing, yeah.
See what boxing is like. 2-player. Okay, so choose a character. You had some luck with Sonic, but I don't know, I'm going to try Mario. Let's see how Mario does.
I was going to say I'm going to try Luigi, but then it'll be
the classic
cliche, right? Okay, let's do it.
El Clasico, the brothers.
The brothers, let's do that.
sorting it out for the Olympic title. Mario versus Luigi. Block low, block low. I'm trying to block. That's block high. I'm getting handed. I'm not sure how to block. There we go.
I think I've got the hang of this one. It's a lot easier than the track and field.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe just a natural
And it's a
fighter.
lot
We got
more
Rocky in the making here. KO, yeah, Mario. And that's what's called Mario Brothers. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, settled here once and for all.
Luigi and Mario battling it out. So who's this game for?
Look, I mean, if you're an Olympics fan, or if you're just looking for a good kind of family fun game that you can play with your kids or with friends, I think where it really, really shines is the multiplayer element. So, I mean, you can play against a computer, but it's never going to be as fun as giving a mate a controller, or if you've got 4 controllers, playing with 4 friends.
So what would you say your verdict is?
I think if you're looking for some Olympic Games hype, going to play with some friends, this game is like a definite choice. If you're looking for something a little bit more serious, then perhaps you want to, pick up one of the simulator games as opposed to this sort of kind of fun game.
Man, okay, I'll admit there's no winning against Gareth, but man, this is such a fun game. Whether you're a sports lover or whether you're a lover of sporting video games, Mario and Sonic at the Olympics is definitely a top pick from me. And what I like about it is that there's so many sporting codes to choose from. The Olympics are around the corner, so it's so fitting. Gareth, I'm still convinced that I can beat you. So let's do it again.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, look at that celebration. Did you see it?
Very cute, man. Very, very cool. I am a fan of the Olympics. I'm a fan of Mario, and I'm a fan of Sonic, so I think I'll dig it. I will dig it.
Who would you be if you could choose in
Out
the
of all of
100-meter dash?
Sonic?
Yeah?
Come on, surely. Oh, I don't know. Mario's got some chops, eh?
Exactly. He can
Mario
do
Kart, he can do his thing.
If he's got his mushroom in, he can blitz that track.
Exactly. Love it.
All right.
Buddy, are you a Star Wars fan?
I kind of am. I've tried to follow the storyline, but I've skipped a few in between. Yeah,
I got them all. I love them. And it looks so cool. I remember seeing the first trailer for the Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh wow!
And it looks awesome, dude.
Even the name sounds amazing.
And it's got to be like the last one, so it has to be levels.
So wait, so Darth is Luke's father?
I am your father. He is.
But then who's Obi-Wan?
No, I know you want to go back. He's the influencer. He's the teacher.
And then is he like the uncle of Luke in the whole? You see, this is where I get lost.
Nah, he's like an uncle, but he's not actually.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, live right here on SABC3. Thank you so much for choosing to wake up with us this morning. So it is a Tuesday. We delve into the world of movies, and JP Sebastian is in the house. JP, have I ever told you how much I appreciate you? And we all appreciate you on the show. We really love you.
Do I owe someone money? Like
you owe nobody money.
I know this trap, okay?
Well, I tell you this because yesterday, there's so many amazing movies out at the cinema at the moment. So when you go on the website, it's difficult to choose which movie to watch. But because I have you here every single Tuesday telling me about movies to watch, Friday telling me about movies to check out, you make my decision-making so much easier.
Oh,
so
wow,
for that, put it here. And no, like this. Thank you.
What is this? Wow, that's very Star Wars of you. I feel like...
So, movies today, trailers we need to be checking out.
I just want to warn you, South African, shame. You keep these presenters trapped in here like 5 days a week. Like, Tabiso came to me, he was like, I finally got to go see a movie. Saving Private Ryan. I was like, dude, that's from like 10 years ago. No, not really, shame.
Yeah. So you got some really exciting ones this week.
These are just trailers that have come out recently. Yeah. So coming out in January 17th in South Africa is Les Miserables. I've offended every French-speaking person. Leroy, wherever you are, I'm really sorry for the way I pronounced that. But in English, The Wretched, and not in fact based on the musical. A lot of people know it was from 2012, the one with Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway that she won an Oscar for. No. This is what could be more prescient than a movie about protest in France, of all places. Not to mention, hey, we've got Ecuador, we've got Chile, we've got Lebanon, you take your pick, Algeria, Uganda, etc., etc. So this is a movie about the start. What is the incubating forces behind what causes civil unrest? From the side of the police, a guy joins a special criminal unit, and this is all set in Paris, of course, and finds that this is not just going to be run-of-the-mill policing the streets type thing. It's almost a training day situation. They feel like they've got to be like the ones to do the dirty work, and they'll do that by any means necessary to keep the wolves in check. You've got to be a wolf yourself type situation. Based, in fact, on inspired by the events of the 2005 riots in Paris, where I think it was a kid, basically a teenager, was shot dead by police, and they tried to cover it up, and so the story is more or less the same thing. So then the genesis being where these three police officers clash with the community and where they bully the community, how that erupts into the city as a whole, just giving up and breathing a sigh of relief to finally revolt against an oppressive system.
Do you know any of the actors?
No. So, but what's worthwhile knowing is that this is France's official selection for consideration by the Academy for the Oscar Awards. This is the movie that they put in the most faith in to be their flagship movie.
So it must be good.
It is getting rave reviews from critics. It's won a couple of awards already. And if you like stuff like I mentioned, Training Day already, but if you liked City of God, that Brazilian movie, which is a masterpiece, also La Haine you need to watch, 1995, another French masterpiece. But that's from the perspective of the criminals. Criminals, inverted commas. The oppressed, the wretched, the miserable. This is from the perspective of the police.
Okay, well, this comes out on the 17th of Jan next year here in South Africa. The next one, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker.
I don't know if you've heard of this one.
Wow. Carrie Fisher. I mean, this is, you know what? Tell us about this.
So this would be the 9th Star Wars. I'm sure that there are other non-canon things as well. Yeah, it's like since 1978. I don't know, some nerd, please text me or something like that. But this is basically the most present one, the most up-to-date one, and the final one in the series. Directed by the same guy who did the one that brought these back in 2015, J.J. Abrams, that's right. And so many people already unpacking what means what in this trailer, like down to the tiniest thing, like why is Kylo always sheathing his lightsaber? Why has he never got it unsheathed?
But that's the thing with Star Wars, is everything means something.
And it's exciting, man. Like well, people of all ages, and us, if you're over 30 like myself, please don't ruin the fun for the kids. Let them enjoy Star Wars for once in a while as well. So Rey goes on in this trailer and says, everyone thinks they know me, they don't. And Kylo Ren, who is the bad guy, the dude clearly with the red sword, putting it away there, is like, no, I'm the one who still does. She clearly is still dealing with a lot of stuff from the previous Star Wars, where he told her, spoilers, close your ears if you haven't seen the previous Star Wars, that you're nothing, you're related to no one. And so do we find out our origins in this? Maybe we learn something, surely we do. Caught an oh wow there from Katecha Mobui about Chewbacca is what the one is called there.
Yeah.
You know Chewbacca at least. the tall, unshaven guy, the hirsute man. But C-3PO is back as well, and shame. There he's saying a line, I'm taking one last look at my friends. Tearjerkers abound for people, no doubt. R2-D2 as well, having a wobble. That is truly the sound. So I don't know if there's still anything that we learn from these trailers. Obviously, Disney tries to stay as hush-hush and as veiled about this as possible, and you can come up with all theories you like. But interestingly, they don't return to, in the previous trailer for this, they had, oh my goodness, Kylo Ray and Finn Ray, by the way, slashing a statue of Darth Vader. What could that mean? Them having some sort of final fight in the spot where Darth Vader revealed that he is in fact the father of Luke, Kat. So yeah, can she possibly be nothing if that is where they're having this final fight scene in this, like, famously the Return of the Jedi
insane
moment of them. I'm out of breath. I don't really have any energy.
No, you got me out of breath, and I'm just sitting here listening to you. But this one, luckily,
Palpatine comes back. But I'm going to stop talking.
Okay, because then you're giving away quite a bit as well. This one comes out. Luckily, we don't have to wait for 2020 to check it out. This one is out on the 20th of December.
Yes,
which is just now. So that means you can already just cross that out on your calendar and go check this out. JP Sebastian, thank you so much. You're an absolute rock star. That is a lowdown of all the movie trailers that are coming out, exciting us ahead of their release coming out this year and next year.
I feel like I need to reserve an entire weekend, Graham Richards, just so I can watch Star Wars from the very beginning, Sharon, and just kind of get acquainted. I've missed out on so much of the story and it's developed so far.
Just do it. Sink your teeth into it again, man. You could probably watch for an entire weekend. There's probably enough screen time to actually take it all up. But awesome stuff. More questions than answers. Thank you, JP, but we love it. We love Star Wars.
All right. Talking about sinking our teeth into all health matters this morning. Let's talk about pain, inflammation and fatigue, which are some of the symptoms that are associated with arthritis, a disease previously thought to only affect aging adults.
Yeah, so this morning we are going to debunk that a little bit. We are going to be chatting to educational psychologist Dr. Sharon Aitken. Again, she's been on the show before. She joins us this morning to help break the stereotype by addressing the research she's done on what is called juvenile idiopathic arthritis. The research on this topic was the first research undertaken in South Africa, in fact, on the psychological and social effects of this terrible, often lifelong illness, and what it has on children and adolescents in particular. Sharon, welcome. Great to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's so cool that you have returned.
Congratulations. I was about to say, on the research, that the first ever research done on the psychological impact of GIA. And we look forward to learning so much. I know there's a whole community of people that are
families
affected, exactly, that are going to be watching this morning.
Welcome to you at home as well,
inspiring a broader conversation. But let's first start talking about exactly what is GIA, or juvenile idiopathic arthritis.
So GIA is basically an immune disorder, an autoimmune disorder. And I think it's really important to know that it's not the normal wear and tear arthritis that comes with old age. It's where the body actually attacks itself, and it causes great degree of pain in the joints and causes a lot of chronic fatigue. Children can get it from very early, from 2 years old, and as you know, it's lifelong in nature quite often, and unfortunately there's no known cure. So the kids are often on medication for long periods of time, and the medication is quite hectic, you know. They're on chemotherapy, biologics, so...
it certainly does show a natural then leap to want to research the psychological effects, especially on a child, of having to deal with something like this. How prevalent is it in South Africa and globally, I suppose?
Well, Professor Chris Scott and Dr. Kate Webb have conservatively estimated approximately 20,000 children in South Africa having this disease. But that's a conservative estimate, so it could be a lot more than that. I mean, some people have considered maybe even 60,000 children in South Africa with the disease. So it's quite prevalent.
Let's try and gain a bit of an understanding of how this disease affects children from, I guess, an emotional point of view, a social point of view, psychological and academic.
The problem with the disease really is a lot of the children who have it have invisible symptoms. Some of them have visible symptoms, and then it affects them in slightly different ways. So if you have the visible symptoms and you're using crutches or you're in a wheelchair, obviously they receive a lot of pity and a lot of sympathy. They feel alienated and isolated quite often because people treat them very differently. One of my participants was saying that people almost treated her as if she wasn't very clever anymore just because she was in a wheelchair. When the symptoms are invisible, it's really sad because a lot of people think they're malingering because they cannot see the amount of pain and fatigue the kids are experiencing. So from an emotional perspective, both forms, visible or invisible, really does create a lot of isolation. And then, of course, nobody understands that children get arthritis, so they're often confronted with the phrase, but that's an old person's disease, you know. And so there's very little support either for the families or for the children themselves. And they also receive a lot of negative feedback socially. They receive very little help because there's very little awareness about it. Whereas if you have cancer or epilepsy or TB, everybody knows about it, so they rally around you. But when it's JIA, they go like, oh, but that's an old person's disease. And
or
then,
it's just a little bit of pain.
And then parents are told that they're overreacting. Children are told that they're faking it.
Oh, wow.
It's really quite hectic psychologically.
And it sounds like quite an extensive treatment plan then needs to be activated, and that in itself is a massive challenge.
Yes.
How then does it get identified initially if it's masked by so many other symptoms and often invisible, as you say? Where's the battle being fought?
Look, it's really hard to diagnose because it does mimic a whole lot of other illnesses that children can get. And as far as I know, I think we only have 5 pediatric rheumatologists in South Africa at the moment. And the research indicates that a lot of the doctors are not even trained in juvenile arthritis. It's not part of their degree. So it's very hard for them to recognize. They often end up with people who don't know what the disease is, and it can take up to 10 years or more to get a diagnosis.
Wow, and that's, I would imagine when you start throwing the socio-economic background of particular patients into the mix, then it becomes a whole different
exactly. And that's why we're not sure how many children actually have it in South
suffering from it, sure.
All right, we're going to continue our conversation with Sharon very shortly, Dr. Sharon Aitken. And, of course, the wonderful news that there is actually lots of support out there because Arthritis
Community,
is a newly registered non-profit company that you can email and talk to. So you can email Catherine McCormick at admin@arthritis.kids.co.za, or you can give them a call on 021-762-1355. They also have a number 083-417-1271. And I understand, Sharon, that you also have started a support group and community in Cape Town for JIA sufferers and their families as well. And we'll have the details on the screen for you. But we will, of course, be continuing our conversation with Dr. Sharon Aitken very shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we delve back into a very interesting and I think very important discussion this morning. So earlier on the show, we spoke about juvenile idiopathic arthritis, JIA, and the impact it has on children and adolescents, and I suppose parents as well, entire families, with educational psychologist Dr. Sharon Aitken, one of the, I think, most dominant researchers in the area here in South Africa, but also someone who seems to be driving the sense of community and filling in the emotional context around this, because these are children and that becomes a very emotional space to operate. I just keep putting myself in that situation of imagining my little one at age 2, age 3 having to deal with such chronic pain apart from anything else.
And perhaps we can shed some light on some of the difficulties and challenges faced by a parent in that situation, as you so adequately said earlier on, that it is a disease mostly associated with the aged.
Yes.
But now it is something that is impacting your child at such a, perhaps maybe you said as early as 2 years old, so it's such a crucial part of their life and development where they're supposed to be enjoying life in its full spectrum.
Will it stunt their development at that age?
It certainly hampers them physically, so they might not be able to take part in lots of exercises and possibly become the person they would have become otherwise. The medication is also quite hectic, so it often prevents them from attending as many social events as they wanted to attend or would like to attend. I think it's not just the pain, it's the extreme chronic fatigue that can go with a flare. So it's quite an unpredictable disease. So they'll be fine and coping, and then something might happen, stress, or they catch a bug, and then the disease suddenly flares, and then they have high levels of fatigue where sometimes they can't even get out of bed. And the unpredictability of that is very difficult socially, both for the parents and for the children, because they can't always go to things or events that they were originally invited to and committed to.
Yeah. Now, with your research being focused on the psychological and social effects of JIA, let's talk about some of the challenges that might be faced by a parent.
I think one of the big things I would like to raise is the financial costs, because they're on... They are on chemotherapy, which, as far as I understand, the government pays for. But some of the children need biologics, and the government doesn't pay for that. The Red Cross Children's Hospital actually is able to do that for them, but of course they've got a limited scope of children that they can treat. The medical aides also don't know how to bill it, so often the claims are rejected. So that's a huge financial implication. Parents often have to curtail their work or give up their work in order to look after the kids, because some of them are really sick.
That's chronic.
And then of course the parents have to help support the children emotionally, because when you become so ill, you actually become quite depressed. So it really is quite a serious disease.
I suppose it really does reinforce the awareness element of what needs to be driven, because I keep wanting to ask, where do we need to be fighting this awareness battle? Do we approach government? Is it big business?
I just think we need to just make everybody aware of it, because not even the teachers. I mean, I just had a recent incident where one of the moms told me that the child was shouted at in class because they were too sick to work and too tired. So, you know, and then disciplined simply because the teacher doesn't understand how sick the child actually is, and that they're making a huge effort to be at school. So the ramifications are quite vast.
Yeah, so first things first, the national campaign, please, Minister of Basic Education, Ministers of Health, that we make aware all the concerned parties, teachers especially, children at school, go and have talks at school so that there's better understanding of this. I can imagine nothing worse than being punished in front of your classmates because of something that you have
no control of, or even worse, any idea of what's actually happening to you.
And that's where the Kids Arthritis Society is really good. They're actually going to school. So if a school is interested, they will do a school visit and do a talk about JIA and let everybody know, create the awareness, let them understand what it's all about.
On the 7th of November, you have a very important meeting. Tell me all about that, please.
Well, all I've done is I'm trying to set up a support group in Cape Town, because a lot of the support is in Johannesburg at the moment. So I'm just inviting parents of kids who have JIA to come meet with me on the 7th of November. And we're just going to start hopefully creating a support network for parents in Cape Town so that we can suggest the doctors who are in the know, which doctors to go to, so you're more likely to get a quicker diagnosis. And create support systems for parents of children who are newly diagnosed.
And perhaps maybe of parents that are curious and might not be certain, they haven't received the diagnosis yet, so they want to come and find out more.
Especially considering the diagnostic process is quite traumatic, and so they need the support during that process.
Oh, man, I think we could probably spend an entire hour-long show talking about this. Thank you so much for all of the efforts that you're doing on both sides from a research perspective, but also I think connecting to families out there. You are not alone. We're going to have all of the details for the various support structures that are in place on all of our social media platforms, but I think you can start with admin at arthritisikids.co.za. If you want to ask those critical questions, I think just to educate yourself is probably the first step in the right direction. Doctor, thank you so much. Really, really interesting and quite sobering to delve into this.
Thank you guys for helping us create awareness. And can I also say thank you to my research participants for having been so brave and courageous and sharing their very sensitive stories with me.
Absolute pleasure.
Well, the summertime is here, and that means we're all looking for fresh, interesting ways to keep refreshed and keep going during the summer, and we're always looking at those creative ways that will not only taste absolutely amazing, but also will be absolute crowd pleasers as well. So, if you're looking for some inspiration to stay refreshed this summer, our Fresh Pack, what's happening?
I'm looking for some inspiration, Uncle Tabzi.
Come get inspired.
I'm always excited when you're in the kitchen.
Well, that's exciting to know.
Well, alrighty then.
Yeah, well, our Fresh Pack watermelon and mint iced tea is what we're making. It's just what you need. Better yet, you can create any flavor combination. All you need is Fresh Pack, the #1 rooibos tea. But now I'm going to be showing you and taking you through the different steps involved in making this absolutely refreshing drink. It's perfect for summer. Are you excited about it?
Excitement is me.
Perfect. Okay. You. So what we've done is we've mixed some honey in here with water. So half a cup of honey, half a cup of water. You're getting all of that combined. So what you do is just mix it all together until it's nicely combined. It's a very quick process that's involved here. And what you do is you've got some boiling water in here already. Okay.
And that beautiful strainer special
there we go.
Kettle.
Yes, and depending on how strong you want your rooibos iced tea to be, you'll either add 1 tea bag or 2. So we'll go with 2 for now.
I'd sort of go with 3.
Would you go with 3?
Because it's full of antioxidants. It's naturally stuff.
So what I'm doing now is I'm going to get the tea in here into the watermelon.
And of course, you at home can SMS the keyword FreshPack to 33728, and then we'll send you your own link as well as a list of ingredients so you can make your own beautifully inspired rooibos iced tea.
So this or you can use whatever fruit you like. So what we've done here, this is all nicely combined.
What other fruit would you use, by the way?
I would go for like apple. I would go for lemon as well.
Nice.
Yeah, depending on the type of flavor you're looking for.
Now you're going to burn down the kitchen.
Yeah, please turn that off. So now we're going to get our honey and water mixture into the tea with.
So that further even melts the.
That melts it even further, but also just injects a little bit more flavor.
So that's your sweetener, actually.
This is a bit of a sweetener, yeah.
And honey is anti-inflammatory, so that's.
Which is great. So you are getting all those great, good benefits. You've got then some lime zest over here, which we're going to throw in.
Look
this
at
is just the
look
garnish.
At the finesse. You've done well in that department.
This is the garnish that I have prepared to make sure that, you know, this goes really nicely. It goes down well. It goes down well.
And while you are doing that, of course, not only is this drink very refreshing and delicious, but it's also full of antioxidants. It's naturally sweet. We add a little bit more sweetness to it, of course, with the honey and water. It's naturally caffeine-free. And that's why it is #1 rooibos in the country.
It's not complicated at all. As you can see, it's already done.
How does squeeze of what nyana?
I mean, that's just a personal preference. If you liked that as a guest at my house, I would totally do that for you. But I didn't want to do this. I just needed the zest. But
you were saying now, the wonderful thing as well about Fresh Pack rooibos tea is that it comes in a variant of flavors as well. There's lemon flavor, watermelon and mint. There's ginger, which would probably be my favorite. Honey flavor. There's cranberry, pomegranate, mango, peach.
Cranberry,
and normal rooibos flavor as well.
Cranberry, you've got my full attention. So just in case you missed any of the steps involved in making this really easy, refreshing drink, take a look at this.
Enjoy delicious homemade iced tea this summer. Simply add fresh lime, berries, and honey to ice cold Fresh Pack Rooibos tea. See on pack for more recipes. Fresh Pack, goodness comes naturally.
Well, there you go. It's Fresh Pack to 33728. We'll SMS you a link with a recipe to your cell phone. You can be impressive this weekend with this delicious, very refreshing Fresh Pack iced tea.
I actually want to try something.
What are you trying now?
We do it all for the
Ken is one of those people who, when they come to your house, after you've worked so hard preparing a drink for them, goes into the kitchen, opens your fridge, finds whatever they can get their hands on.
Just to show you.
And just basically...
Wait. Agree for the gram.
Okay.
Bonafela man, Uncle Tabzi. Wait, lechapu on the side.
And then I want to see you try and drink with this lechapu that you
Bona, easy. Easy just.
Okay.
There
we go. And then a little bit of a squeeze in there.
That squeeze.
Out of season. Well, the question for you at home is, how would you mix the flavors up? You could stand the chance to win a wonderful Fresh Pack hamper to experiment with and have endless days of good tea. Yes, that's what we're talking about. All you need to do is visit Expresso's Facebook page. Let us know, what would you make using Fresh Pack tea?
Exactly. So the competition ends on Tuesday, the 5th of November at 10 a.m. and terms and conditions can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. Perhaps maybe take all the flavors together. It's a Fresh Pack and it would or wait till like a cocktail punch tea.
Enjoy delicious homemade iced tea this summer. Simply add fresh lime, berries, and honey to ice cold Fresh Pack Rooibos tea. See on pack for more recipes. Fresh Pack, goodness comes naturally.
Wow, there's a lot going on in here. Oh, that smells good. Oh, that's fresh, it's beautiful, it's awesome. Hopefully you can do this at home yourself right now. Refresh yourself as we go into a break. Why? Because we need to be refreshed. When we return, we are working on that boop. Yes, we are tackling it. Cindy Abrams is in the house to help us flatten the bellies. We'll see you in a moment. Cheers.
you. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. It's a Tuesday morning. Graham Richards is trying to figure out how
just asking
drinking... No, wait, G.
Can I ask the question again?
Please ask the question again.
Do you eat the fruit out of the...
How many cocktail parties have you been to?
Do you just slick it all?
Surely more than one. Okay, well, while you try and figure out...
to grab the... Because it looks like delicious fruit, man.
Just don't eat the mint leaves. All right, while he tries to figure that out, let's quickly get a look at the headlines of the morning.
Very refreshing.
It's just gone after 7 o'clock. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines. Here at home, Water and Sanitation Minister Lindiwe Sisulu yesterday assured South Africans that the current water shortage facing the country was receiving the highest level of attention from government. Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan will release a special paper on the government's plans to reform struggling state power firm Eskom today. Ratings agencies cite the financial and operational crisis at Eskom as one of the biggest risks to the South African economy. In international headlines, the main opposition party in Botswana, the Umbrella for Democratic Change, says it is preparing court papers to dispute the outcome of last week's general elections. The Botswana Democratic Party won the election with 38 seats, followed by the UDC with 25. Huge sections of California will remain under a red flag warning as extreme seasonal winds continue to fan flames from northern California's wine country to the state's border with Mexico. And finally, a long-lost masterpiece dating back to the 13th century until recently hung on a wall in the home of an unsuspecting 90-year-old woman in northern France. She decided to sell her house and hired an auctioneer to look through her home's contents. A masterpiece by the late 13th century Italian artist Sambu, who is regarded as the father of the Renaissance, was found hanging on her kitchen wall. And on Sunday, the painting known as Christ Mocked fetched $26.6 million at an art auction in Paris. The painting, which measures about 24 by 20 centimeters, is in excellent condition, although it had been covered in grime, having hung above a cooking hot plate forever. The owner thinking it is a fake. On that note, it's time for us to take a look at what's happening in the world of sports. Here's Graham.
Of course, we kick it off with Rugby World Cup watch, building towards the final this weekend. The 2019 Rugby World Cup finalists, South Africa and England, are now the top two rugby teams in the world. That's according to the latest World Rugby rankings that were released yesterday. England is the #1 side in the world, with South Africa in second. Then on the surfing front, South African pro surfer Jordy Smith, who's having an incredible year, claimed his third runner-up result at the MEO Ripcol Pro in Portugal. And that event was happening over the weekend, defeated by his old foe, Italo Ferreira. Then on to tennis, 20-time Grand Slam winner Roger Federer claimed an impressive 10th Swiss indoors title with an emphatic 6-2, 6-2 winner of Australian Alex de Minaur in Basel. And in golf, Tiger Woods won the Zozo Championship in Japan. That's to equal Sam Snead's PGA Tour record of 82 victories after completing a 3-under par 67 to beat local favourite Hideki Matsuyama at the Accordia Golf Narashino Country Club. We'll expand on those headlines on the top of the hour. Right now, let's take a look at the roads.
Thank you, Graham. Let's take a first look at your roads this morning. We start off in Gauteng out in Fourways. There has been an accident that's on the N1 northbound after William Nicol Drive. The left lane is blocked and causing a 20-minute delay from Malibongwe Drive. So please be patient on the roads this morning. If you're out in Western Cape and Brackenfell on the N1 outbound, there is a stationary vehicle that's after Sonstraal Road obstructing the left lane. So please approach with caution. In case you're rushing off to the trains, well, the Captain's Clip and Chris Honey train services, they are temporarily suspended due to overhead power failure at Philippi. Commuters are advised to please make use of an alternative mode of transport this morning. And that's where we leave it for now. The next report will be in just over half an hour.
Don't ruin the moment. Prevent allergies or cold and flu with fast-acting powder nasal spray from the Nexa range. Nexa. Brought to you by Pharma Dynamics.
Well, we've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Thank you very much, Clive Chase, for sending us your beautiful sunrise from Warner Beach in Cape Town, or rather KZN, where times of clouds and sun can be expected with pleasant temperatures reaching a max of 21 degrees. Drini Famak also sent us his incredible sunrise from Scott Barra, where partly sunny conditions can be expected with a southeasterly breeze reaching a maximum of 22 degrees. How beautiful are those pictures? You can send yours through to us as well on our Facebook page. The hashtag is Expresso Show. And now we take a look at those temperatures, starting off in Polokwane, 14. That's your low today, reaching a high of 28. If you're out in Mbombela, a couple of showers are expected over there today, 14, reaching a maximum of 19. The highest temperatures in the country, that's for you, the capital city, Pretoria, 13, reaching a high of 29, with Johannesburg starting off at 11, reaching a high of 26. Sunny Mahikeng, 11 at 28, with Klerksdorp starting off at 6, peaking at 26 degrees today. Kimberley, 3, that's your low, reaching highs of 22, and times of sun out in Bloemfontein, 2, that's your low, reaching a high of 22. If you're out in Richards Bay, expect heavy rainfall today, 14, that's your low, reaching a high of 20. It's a rainy day, a couple of showers are also expected for Pietermaritzburg, 10, reaching a maximum of 19. If you're out in Durban, a light drizzle, 16, reaching a high of 22. Sunny Mthatha starts off at 6 today, peaking at 24 degrees. A bit of sun for East London today for a change, 12, reaching a high of 21, with Craddock starting off at 1, peaking at 23 degrees today. A southwesterly wind traveling at 43 kilometers per hour is expected for Port Elizabeth, 12, reaching a high of 19, with a southwesterly for George traveling at 30 kilometers per hour, 10 and 19. Those are your temperatures. The lowest temperatures in the country, that's Sutherland, -1, reaching a high of 13, and Cape Town starts off at 9, peaking at 16 degrees. If you're out in Worcester, expect high humidity today, 4, reaching a maximum of 16. Springbok starts off at 5, reaching a maximum of 21 degrees. It's a sunny day over there, with Uppington Lustley starting off at a low of 7, reaching a high of 23 degrees. And that's where we leave it for now. No matter what the weather's looking like in your part of the country, be sure to make it a feel-good type of day. Right now, though, it's time for us to celebrate your birthdays.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Cha-cha-cha. Feel it. Play the air guitar, play the air trumpet, do whatever you got to do to feel like it's your birthday, because it is your special day, and we've had so many, I mean, a ton of birthday dedications come through, so thank you so much. Clearly, you are loved out there, but let's dive right in, man.
We actually have a video.
We do.
To start off with. That's very exciting. We always love getting those from
Shirley.
you. So this is from Shirley, wishing Judy a happy birthday. Here we go.
Nice.
I'm assuming that's Judy then, we think.
6 years. Johnny got 6
That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Oh, I just got a tiara on. She looks gorgeous.
It reminds me of like back in the day when we had like birthday parties at my house. There would always be like the mandatory pose with the age picture. Like everyone was standing up like this. Beautiful stuff. Happy birthday
well done,
to you, Judy. Then messages coming in. One saying, God's special blessings to this amazing, sweet and kind-hearted boy. We love you tons. This is from Mom and Dad wishing Zach Jurst a very happy birthday. And then a happy 14th birthday to our son Verlin Samek Klaassen. May God bless you more. Have a wonderful day from your loving parents Yannick, Sherilise, and from Oma as well.
Happy 14th, that's a big one. Then I would like to wish my beautiful daughter Linomta Nelani a very happy 14th birthday. May the Lord bless you more and more. Lots of love from your mum. Then a happy birthday, Sister Pearl. You've been a good manager to me, a great person who loves to smile, have fun with others, and enjoys life. I wish you many more years to come to be added onto your lifespan. I love you. We love you, Pearl, from your extended family.
Beautiful wishes there. Then happy 75th birthday to Beatrice, known to her friends and family as Auntie Sweetie.
Auntie Sweetie.
May you be showered with God's richest blessings, Mummy. This is from your children, your grandchildren, friends and family across Cape Town, East London, and Johannesburg. Happy birthday, Auntie Sweetie. Then then I wish my son Zachariah Malum a happy 9th birthday. May the Almighty always protect you and guide you. We love you lots. This is from your mom Nabila, dad Jihad, as well as his siblings Yusra and Masood. Happy birthday, Zachariah.
And then Dalmay Redcliffe, we are talking to you, my friend. We wish my handsome hubby and amazing dad to our kids a happy birthday. Hope you have a blessed day. We love you so much. And that's from Shamira, Shaden, and Drake. Happy birthday, dude.
Beautiful stuff.
Then we're wishing Darren a very happy and blessed 25th birthday. May you continue to put God first in everything you do. May you be blessed and highly favored as you take up your new position in New York. Wow. That's a big leap, man. That's from your mom, Sandra, brother Daniel, Uncle Vincent, and Aunt Sandra and cousin Alison as well. Good luck with the move, man.
Darren looks like that guy that slays at office parties. He like just drops the lines and he's got the
he's a
jokes.
stand-up for something.
He looks like he could do it.
Yeah, you got the face, man.
All right, then also happy 40-something birthday to my cousin Gordon John Hon Lin. There he is over there. May God bless you to see many more. Stay as loving, witty, caring, intelligent, and entertaining person as you are. Love you lots. Keep on laughing. And this is from Dalveen and the family. Then also, may your infectious personality and curiosity take you from strength to strength, and may happiness follow you like a shadow. Happy 7th birthday, Bandile. This is from Auntie Ellen and your cousin Karabo as well. Happy birthday to you.
Man.
Yeah. Listen, beautiful video that you sent us through there. We would love for you to send us more if you have a moment to sing, or maybe you capture a special moment just like that as well, to 071-640-6551, and then send those messages through to birthdays@cardova.tv.
We do. We absolutely love birthdays. We love them even more when someone very close to us, in fact, someone sitting right next to us, is celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday,
It's the October baby.
And this whole month, you might have heard him saying, October babies are the best. October babies are the best. Happy birthday,
Thank you, brother,
lad.
man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you very
Princess
much.
made it with her own 2 hands. It's called the 2-1 cake, okay? You got 2-to-1 ratio of cake and icing in the middle. Happy birthday, dude.
Thank you very much, man.
Do you feel old today? Do you feel
I
young?
actually don't. I've never felt younger.
Really?
I feel really, really good. And thank you for making it so special. I really appreciate it. And everyone's celebrating their birthday today as well.
So send him lots of messages on social media, please, man. We love you. We might not go to that extent to give you the fanfare, but we will. So send through your birthday messages. We'd love to. And then send him some messages today. Please send Kat a video singing him
like
happy
that.
birthday. We'd love to. Yeah, let's make the 2-1 Katlego trend this morning. Dude, no, we love you. Happy birthday, man.
Love you too,
You're
man.
very special
Love you guys.
today.
Thank you.
Hopefully you guys at home, if you've been celebrating your birthday, are feeling extra special as well. Happy birthday, man.
There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. To enter for Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes. Now, for your chance at competing in Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, record a video audition of yourself describing how you would outsmooth your competition on the island. Then load that video onto Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook with hashtag TIOT9, or WhatsApp the video to 063-921-8395. And it could be you winning a share of 1 million rand plus smooth fame and fortune while flying with KLM to the Caribbean for this season of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're live, large and in charge. It's a Tuesday morning. Thank you very much for choosing to start the day off with us. So good to be in your company. JP Sebastian in the house talking about the latest trailers he's seen of movies we can anticipate in the future. And one that's coming up now with a title that just made me sit upright and pay attention, called When Lambs Become Lions.
It's like you're kicking down the door and like shouting for the Oscar to be put in your hand. Oh, by the way, let me just... Congratulations on your birthday.
Much
Good job. You
appreciated.
made it this far. And I'm sorry I couldn't bring you happier movies and more Star Wars to talk about, because these are dead serious.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But let's talk about this. Is it Oscar-worthy? Or is it buzzing for an Oscar?
It's already won at the Tribeca Film Festival and a couple of other documentary festivals. And the guy who's done it previously won for Cartel Land. So he is already like a revered documentarian. In fact, John Casper, interestingly, he's one of the dudes who back in the day when like hipsters were first figuring out, what you mean we can film with SLR cameras?
Oh, yeah.
Like, so he was at that wave back in the day with Undercity and Steve Duncan. Those are names you can look up on your own time.
And you were saying, as much as you go documentary, it looks very much the blockbuster-like film.
It looks like it puts to shame most thrillers that are in circuit at the moment. I don't know how you achieve this. Like, so look at that. Like, the thing is, you don't get second takes. You don't get to tell your subjects, "Ooh, can you do that again? That looked so cool."
Yeah, because this is kind of like real life being documented.
Yeah. So what the guy did, John Casper, is that's a scary line, by the way. It's, if you want to talk about scary titles, so the guy says, my gift is that I have no fear in my heart. That's from the perspective of the poachers of elephants, who the documentarian follows, and also the guys who hunt the poachers. So he embedded himself in both sides for 3 years. These documentarians, for 3 years of their lives, tell their family members, bye, like, I'm in Kenya for the next, block of my life. So it tries to, not that I've seen it, but it looks like it tries to be really complex about the issue.
Yeah.
It's not just sort of like a situation of, catch the bad guys.
Yeah, good versus bad done.
Yeah, so there's a guy that's the dealer you're looking at there, and he tries to sort of seduce his cousin into the business, who's actually a park ranger, so from the side of light into the side of dark, if you like, or whatever. But the question is like, what would these desperate people be doing otherwise if the economy was just in tip-top shape or wasn't exploited by colonialism or something like that?
If the world was fair, I guess.
Yes, and if there, if it wasn't meritocratic at all.
Word.
But look at these epic shots.
That's the wonder for me, the fact that this is on the ground, hardcore reality.
That last shot you were looking at there was a guy on the hunt. Fortunately for anyone who's concerned, there's no violence toward the animals that is depicted in the final product. But I'm sure that, stuff does go down, because it's apparently tens of thousands of elephants every year in Kenya. So the documentary does try to seize on the subject from, like I said, from both sides. The desperation of the economic situation and also the opportunism of this luxury... horrible industry that poaching is.
All right, so no release date yet for South Africa, but certainly we are looking forward to it hitting the big screen when lambs become lions. But March 2020, Age Out.
Ty Sheridan, I don't know if he's like, necessarily big enough for people. He was in Ready Player One.
Yeah.
But he made his... Yeah, that's a
enjoyed that.
Steven Spielberg movie with a virtual reality and all that business. But he made his start in artsy stuff with Terrence Malick originally. It was Tree of Life. Jeffrey Wright is the actor's name. Yes, he is. He's one of, seriously, one of the most overlooked. People are sleeping on Jeffrey Wright, and he's like one of the best living actors we have.
Sheesh.
Age Out is, I just mentioned Terrence Malick now, Ty Sheridan, who previously worked with him in Tree of Life. This is directed by the editor of Terrence Malick's movies. That name, by the way, Terrence Malick, this is the kind of guy who people learn about in film school. And you can clearly see, if you know those movies and how monumental they are for a lot of people who love being behind camera, that this is lensed in the same vein as his master, as the director is A.J. Edwards is his name. And like I said, so he previously worked on the editing of a lot of that stuff. And that's so important because Malick's stuff has so much to do with the passage of time in his movies, which obviously is an editor's job. So hopefully he brings that strength to this movie. Caleb Landry Jones is the creepy dude from Get Out. Remember?
Oh my goodness, yes.
The Jiu-Jitsu brother shape. I don't know if this dude's ever going to get a role where he's not creepy. So clearly
he just does creepy well.
Yeah. So do what you're good at, I suppose. Yeah. So Ty Sheridan, Imogen Poots, Jeffrey Wright, Caleb Landry Jones. Good to see young actors being challenged to do stuff that takes them out of, say, rom-com or YA and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
A reflective, meditative kind of thing on this guy who is aging out of the foster care system. He's now just become a traveler. He's trying to figure out what to do with his life. Clearly, he ends up on the wrong side of the tracks because Jeffrey Wright is the sheriff hanging over his shoulder there, but looks beautifully shot. And I look forward to it. Like you said, March 2020 in SA.
Good-looking stuff, worthy of popcorn.
If you're in for something artsy, yeah, why not? Please treat yourself.
Right. Cool. Two very great movies there, Age Out and When Lambs Become Lions. JP Sebastian, thank you very much.
Do Chewbacca for me again.
Wait, I couldn't get the spit there, wait.
That's shocking.
I think he's going to puke on me.
No.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Well, it's time for a little bit of fitness on your Tuesday to get the blood flowing. And it is week 3 of our #GetActive series with Active Drink on the Go Dairy Snack. If your belly has forced you to adjust a notch or two on your belt over the past few months and you want to get the slim look back, then you have made the right stop because we've got Cindy Abrams in the house who's going to be showing us how to fit a few stomach exercises into your daily routine. Welcome back, Cindy. Put it here. Good to have you here always. Every single time I have you over, when I leave, I feel like I've got abs. I've got a six-pack.
But I must say, you are looking hot. Seriously, is he not looking hot?
Thank you for that, Cindy. Thank you so much for that. Well, today we are getting active.
Yes, we are.
Why is it so important to work your stomach?
So basically, if you don't work your abs and you tend to have a bit of a pouch going, you tend to suffer from lower back pain. So by working your abs, it helps with posture as well, and it also helps with the resistance against the back pain that you feel in your lower back. So sometimes when you're packing on too much here, you'll find that you're constantly leaning to the back and having to take all these tablets. But today, we're going to show you how to work on that.
Okay, cool. Let's work on it. Let's get going. What are we doing?
So firstly, you're going to go down on your back. Don't worry, they're easy. You with me.
Okay, Cindy. All right. And what are we doing?
So the easy version is you can lie on your side, turn the knees out, put the shoulders flat back.
All right.
And then you're going to lift up, you're going to work your obliques.
Okay.
That's the easy. Put your knees flat down on the ground.
Okay, yeah.
Bend. And then you squeeze.
Okay.
The harder version is when you're actually lifting.
Oh, okay, that's easier for me.
That's the easy version, and then this is the advanced.
Okay.
Lift, lift,
yeah.
lift.
Yeah.
And then you're going to roll over. We're going to do mountain climbers because we're doing interval training for our abs.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you're going to go through. Yes, you're right, faster.
I'm hearing people remarking in the background there.
And then you're going to do the left side. So left side, bend the knees, flat on the floor, twist the body.
Okay.
Shoulders down, squeeze up. So you have to lift all the way up. And the advanced version
would be that. Okay.
Lift. So you have to lift your legs up.
Yeah.
Then you're going to do a reverse bicycle.
Okay.
So you lift the knees up, 90 degrees, shoulders off the mat, legs out, pushing the heel down, and reverse.
Okay.
So that's
this
to
one
work
is easy.
the lower abs. Push your heels
and
down.
I can feel it. Okay.
Good job.
How much time would you say, like, the average person should at least try and squeeze in on a daily basis?
You should at least try 15 minutes of abs per day.
Every single day.
In the morning and in the evening, if you can.
Wow.
I didn't say stop. You need to keep going. Let's work those abs.
I was asking you questions for future reference.
Come. Let's go. You can chat and work your abs. Now you're going to open up your knees, shoulder width apart. You're going to bring in and squeeze, contracting the abs.
Okay.
Or you can go all the way up and down.
Yeah.
Good job.
Nice. Okay.
How are you feeling?
Right. No, really good. I'm feeling like invigorated as well at the same time.
I think you
it's
need
good. You've got my energy going.
I think you need to drink the active.
Oh, thanks. Yes. Please get me one. Okay. Well, I definitely think that I've lost. I've lost a centimeter or two around my waist. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? My waist?
I can see it looking good.
There we go. Just by doing this routine. And maybe you need a bit more than just one routine, but remember that Active Drink contains 50 vitamins and minerals, and it's available in a variety of flavors in store. So, what are you waiting for? Get off that couch. Get active. Cheers, Cindy.
Cheers. You're not done with your abs. You should still be working out.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show on this Tuesday morning. And as promised earlier on, it's going to be a health jam-packed kind of show.
Indeed.
And Graham is having a first-hand experience of that. Well, yeah. So if, like Graham, you're experiencing some kind of itch, or you've been experiencing itchy eyes or a runny nose more often than usual, then there's a reason behind that. Because this year saw one of the highest recorded pollen counts in history, with South Africa alone having a 14% increase in pollen over the past 10 years.
Sure.
And it's all because of global warming. And this spike in South Africa's pollen production has been flagged by local scientists who are calling for an urgent expansion on the country's pollen monitoring program. And this morning we're joined by one of the scientists and masterminds behind it all, Professor Johnny Peter from UCT's Lung Institute, and Alicia McIntosh from Pharmacodynamics. A very good morning to both of you, and thanks for joining us.
Welcome, guys. Stop looking at me with this evil look in your eye. Like, you can tell I'm itching. So I've already had a little bit of a test done on my arm. We'll take you through that in just a moment. You can see next to the H there that I'm already having a reaction to the histamine, and we'll explain all of that. Professor, you are the mastermind, which does have quite an evil connotation, but what you are working towards here is something that's affecting a lot of people, so I can understand the urgency. What has given rise, we just mentioned climate change, but how in fact has climate change given rise to this rise in pollen and quite a significant increase in 10 years?
So yeah, there are a number of factors that are contributing to what we think is going on. But primarily, I mean, if you think about it, climate change is global warming and increasing levels of greenhouse gases. So CO2 production is increasing. And you can imagine that CO2 is like a fertilizer for plants. So what we're seeing is that essentially, and it's important to note that a lot of this data that we have comes out of Europe. So we actually don't have local South African data, which is why we are pushing for this monitoring. Sorry that you're itching. But
I'm not allowed to actually scratch it, which is probably the most frustrating part.
But European data suggests that in like 2 decades or 3 decades, we're going to see 4 times as high pollen amounts, right? So you can imagine like increased fertilization, increased increase plant growth, increase amount of plant. Then the warming temperatures are going to make the seasons longer. So pollen seasons will start earlier and last longer, and we've already got evidence of that in terms of monitoring. And then another thing that's going to happen is that certain plants are restricted in the regions that they grow in, right? So you can imagine as the climate changes, you might see invasion of allergenic species into areas which they weren't there. So that could, not all plants are allergenic, so some pollens are more important than others, and so you might get new allergenic pollens coming into areas to sensitize and expand affected numbers of people.
So spring's going to be worse than winter for the sinuses.
Wow, unfortunately. Alicia, we'll talk about the importance of finding out exactly what you're allergic to and how that process happens. But just getting back again to the biological structure of pollen, it seems that it's actually getting worse. In what way is it getting worse as a result of this climate change?
So that's actually an interesting thing that comes from the study of something called ragweed. Now, unfortunately, in South Africa, we don't yet have ragweed pollen because it's very allergenic pollen. And the thing about pollen is that it's a complex of proteins, right? So it's not, and they're not all equally allergenic. So you might be allergic to one or two particular proteins in a grain of ragweed pollen. And what we're seeing, or studies have shown, is that the amount of the allergenic protein in a particular plant is increasing disproportionately. Now, we don't exactly understand why. We're trying to figure that out, but it is slightly alarming, which says that not only might the pollen increase, but the actual ability of it to
becoming
cause
more
problem
effective, yeah.
exactly might get worse. Yeah, so that data is out there. Yeah.
Wow.
Scary stuff, because I mean, we can make light of it and we'll joke about the fact that I'm itching now, like I've just been chowed by a mosquito. But it's vital that we do identify this. If you are someone who suffers from serious allergies, it can be quite debilitating. But Alicia, why do you think it is so important for us to make this identification early on? How do we go about doing this?
So if you think about it, if you have an allergy or you don't know you've got an allergy, so hay fever, when you've got an itchy, runny nose,
eyes are
itchy, but you've got a sore throat, you often think, oh, I've just got a cold. And so when it lasts for up to 2 weeks, then something is actually, you can actually have an allergy. So it's important to get tested. It's even when you have a food allergy and you eat something and your tongue feels a little bit swollen or your lips got swelling, those kind of indications to know. And I think you said you've got shellfish.
I've got a shellfish allergy, which will kill me. So I mean, it's absolutely vital.
So, and often enough, you want to actually know what is causing this irritation, because it can either, you can't go through a day without feeling so sick and ill, and sometimes you actually can't concentrate at work, or other times it could be life-threatening when you eat something and you actually, exactly. So, I mean, you've now had the skin prick test done.
and we're going to continue it. I'm interested to see if I actually kind of, because I'm feeling quite sinusy at the moment, so maybe there is something that shows up on the spectrum. But I imagine like a lot of people just walking around feeling like the Hulk about to explode, because it can really, really kind of hit you.
Yeah, so take us through that. Exactly what did you do on Graham's forearm there?
And what do the letters indicate?
Yeah, so a skin test is basically, what it does is it introduces a tiny little bit of allergen or allergenic protein just into the underneath skin part, right? That's what it does. And what it indicates very nicely is it indicates clinical sensitivity, right? So if you have a response, and you can see here what I've done, the first thing to do is always to put a positive control, right?
Okay.
So we've got to know that the test works, because if you'd been taking antihistamines or something, we might not see any, it would dull your response, right? So this first one is just histamine. And you can see here it comes up nice, we're getting a nice wheel that indicates that the test is working. We also put a negative here, that's the N, that means nothing. So some people's skin will just react, and we must make sure
if they're pricked, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
if they're pricked, yeah, just from the physical pricking. And then what we've put here cat dander. It's a very common allergen. And then we've put here some common pollens, right? We've put here Timothy grass, ryegrass, and plane tree. Right, so these are three. There's several others that you can do. This is just a sort of abridged version. And basically what you do is you do the pricks, and then about 10 to 15 minutes later, you try and compare these allergens to the positive and negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even for somebody who, let's say like me, I don't generally think I have any allergies, would it be beneficial to get tested?
Just do it anyway?
Know?
Look, I think, so often enough we actually get allergies maybe late in our life, because our lifestyles and our stress stresses in our lifestyles actually weaken your immune system. So if you don't have symptoms, I wouldn't recommend just going for any test. It could be, you know, it's expensive to see a doctor or an allergist at times, but if you feel severity and you can't go through a daily life, I would suggest taking either a skin prick test or getting a blood test, which is also an option with a doctor.
Is one better than the other, the skin prick or the blood test?
They're different and not necessarily better. We prefer the skin test for things that you breathe in, aeroallergens, because they more closely represent what's actually going on for you symptom-wise. Whereas blood tests, you can screen lots of people with blood tests, and you can even get falsely positive results. So you might have that just looks at in the blood, you just look for allergic antibodies, right? And you might have one, but actually you might not be having a lot of symptoms from that. So you have to be careful to interpret. But for instance, if you had taken antihistamine or there's some reason why we couldn't do skin testing, let's say your skin was, you know, you had eczema or something like that, then you might choose to do blood testing, and that would be also valid and give you some good results.
Pollen count. How do I use, understanding now that we can get that kind of information, how do I use that to my advantage? Can I use that?
Yeah, of course. I think it's really nice to know a pollen count, especially if you actually suffering from hay fever quite a lot. So in the area, you can see, okay, this time of day, it's actually going to be really high. If you can actually stay indoors, it's better for you, or it helps you to control your symptoms with antihistamines or your medication. Absolutely. Say you're traveling as well, I think it's really nice if you're traveling inside South Africa, which is really nice to know that we've expanded outside of Cape Town. To go, okay, I'm going to Johannesburg, what is the kind of pollen count in that area?
Yeah. All right. Prof. Johnny Peter and Alicia McIntosh will be chatting to you a little bit later on some more. But if you'd like to find out more information, and especially about the pollen count, where it stands right now, you can visit pollencount.co.za.
And now time for us to take a look at those news headlines. Water and Sanitation Minister Lindiwe Sisulu yesterday assured South Africans that the current water shortages facing the country was receiving the highest level of attention from government. Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan will release a special paper on the government's plans to reform struggling state power firm Eskom today. Ratings agencies cite the financial and operational crisis at Eskom as one of the biggest risks to South Africa's economy. In international news, the main opposition party in Botswana, the Umbrella for Democratic Change, says it is preparing court papers to dispute the outcome of last week's general elections. The Botswana Democratic Party won the election with 38 seats, followed by the UDC with 25. Huge sections of California remain under a red flag warning as extreme seasonal winds continue to fan flames from Northern California's wine country to the state's border with Mexico. And finally, rugby fans in the country are elated by the good news that the SABC will be broadcasting the 2019 Rugby World Cup finals this coming weekend. This means every single South African can now be part of the excitement on Saturday. Meanwhile, Springbok coach Rassie Erasmus says his team is accustomed to the way England's Roses play and won't be caught unawares. The Springboks played England 4 times in the last 18 months, and it's 2-2. 3 tests were in South Africa, and the last one was in Twickenham. The final is a repeat of the 2007 version when John Smith's team overcame surprise finalists England 15-6. Erasmus is expecting the final to be a very tight affair. On that sporty note, it's time for Graham to tell us an update in the world of sports.
Of course, those 2 same finalists will be represented again this coming weekend as the 2019 Rugby World Cup finalists are indeed again South Africa and England. Now, the top 2 teams in the world, that's according to the latest World Rugby rankings released yesterday. So England is the top team in the world, with South Africa ranked in second. Then South African pro surfer Jordy Smith, who's had a phenomenal year, claimed his 3rd runner-up result at the MEO Rip Curl Pro Portugal event this weekend after he was defeated by his old foe Brazil's Italo Ferreira. In tennis, 20-time Grand Slam winner Roger Federer claimed an impressive 10th Swiss indoors title with an emphatic 6-2, 6-2 win over Australian Alex de Minaur in Basel. And in golf, Tiger Woods won the Zozo Championship in Japan to equal Sam Snead's PGA Tour record of 82 victories. That was after completing a 3-under par 67 to beat local favourites Hideki Matsuyama at the Accordio Golf Narashino Country Club. We'll expand on those headlines in a half hour or so, but right now let's take a look at the competition out on the roads.
Thank you, Graham. Let's take a look at your roads. We start off in Gauteng. Out in Germiston, there is congestion on the main reef road between the Crown Mines and Dragon City. This is due to a stationary vehicle in the middle of the road and a multi-vehicle accident, so please avoid the area this morning. In the Western Cape, Belleville, on the N1 inbound, there is a stationary vehicle out before Jip de Jager Drive, obstructing the emergency lane, so please approach with caution. And if you're off to the trains, well, there is an extended travel time of 20 to 30 minutes on the Wellington line. This is due to current infrastructure conditions as well as sets out of service. So do take it easy on the road this morning and save yourself some time.
For account with 0 surprises. That's different.
Money.
And we've asked you to send in your sunrise pictures. Thank you so much to Abram Grundig for sending us his sunrise picture from Port Elizabeth, where mainly sunny conditions can be expected with a strong southwesterly wind for the entire day, reaching a maximum of 19 degrees. Anthony Buerta also sent us this amazing sunrise from George in the Western Cape, where intervals of sunshine and clouds can be expected with a southwesterly breeze and clear skies towards the evening, reaching a maximum of 19 degrees. Thank you so much for those pictures. And now we delve into those temperatures across the country, with Polokwane starting off at 14 today, reaching a high of 28. If you find yourself out in Mbombela today, a couple of showers are expected, 14, reaching a high of 19. The capital city, Pretoria, the highest temperatures in the country, 13, reaching a high of 29, with Johannesburg starting off at 11, reaching a max of 26. Sunny Mahikeng starts off at 11, peaking at 28, with Klerksdorp at 6, reaching a high of 26. Kimberley, 3 and 22, with Bloemfontein starting off at 2, reaching a high of 22 degrees. Heavy rainfall is expected out in Richards Bay, 14, reaching a high of 20, with a couple of showers for Pietermaritzburg, 10, reaching a high of 19. A light drizzle out in Durban, 16 and 22, with sunny Mthatha at 6, reaching a high of 24. East London is sunny today, 12, reaching a maximum of 21, with sunny Craddock starting off at 1, reaching a high of 23, and a southwesterly wind of 43 kilometers per hour for PE, 12, reaching a high of 19. Southwesterly wind, 30 kilometers per hour, that's for George, 10, reaching a max of 19. You've got the lowest temperatures in the country today. That's Sutherland, -2, reaching a high of 13. The mother city, Cape Town, 9 and 16, with high humidity for Worcester, 4, reaching a high of 16 degrees. Springbok is sunny, 5, peaking at 21. And lastly, Uppington starts off at 7, reaching that maximum of 23 degrees. And that's where we leave it for now. The next report just after 8 o'clock. The next report after 8 o'clock.
Thanks, Uncle Tabzi. Really appreciate that. It is a jam-packed Health Tuesday.
Yep.
Graham's arm is still itching a little bit.
No, it is. It's not as intense as it was, but yeah.
But we're also going to be following in on some of your comments on social media regarding some of the allergies you suffer from, how it is that you manage them, and we'll be putting up those comments very shortly. But right now, let's actually have a look at those right now. Okay, so Renata Scott says, good morning, Expresso team. I haven't had a test personally. But my granddaughter had and is highly allergic to eggs and wheat.
Oh, that's a tough one.
She suffers with eczema. So
that's a tough one,
is that one of the more common ones you get?
Yeah, so that's a very common story, especially for kids. So with allergic disease, we see this progression tends to be children often affected with what we call infantile eczema. And that may go hand in hand with food allergies, egg and wheat common. Yeah. Fortunately, both of those were likely to be outgrown as they all get older, and then hay fever, asthma, those kinds of diseases.
And just wonder, by the way, if you're wondering who these two wonderful people are, Professor John Peter, head of the UCT Lung Institute's Allergy Unit, and we've also got Alicia McIntosh, Allergy and Immunology Portfolio Manager at Pharmacodynamics. Another comment coming in from Tara Catherine Peterson says, I've never been for an allergy test, but I know I'm allergic to bananas. Bananas? What? Can't eat more than one in a week. It's depressing because I love bananas.
I mean, everybody loves bananas.
Talk to me about that.
Tara.
So it is unlikely that Tara is actually allergic to bananas because not meaning disappointing to her. But the thing about allergies is even one would give you symptoms, right? So food allergies in particular, even a small amount, if you're truly allergic, will tend to generate symptoms.
So is that more like a gastric issue that you might have?
Yeah, so you can be, with foods, you can be intolerant for a number of reasons. They can cause GIT. Doesn't necessarily mean allergy.
Okay, all right. So,
okay, so take us go back to the beginning of the test here. You started by drawing 4 lines to create the playground. And now what have you done?
Well, we don't want to get the allergens mixed up, right? So we clearly kind of label the allergens, and then we've put this one here, which is the histamine. That's the positive, and you can see already how it's formed a nice wheel there.
Nice little welt.
And the important thing is we did this a little bit earlier because it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to start to see a result, right? And then what we've done is we've done the pollens, but then the other commonest type of thing that you breathe in that will cause allergies is house dust mite, right?
Mites.
Yes.
The little living organism creatures.
Correct. Believe it or not.
That look terrifying when you hold them under a mug. Yeah.
Exactly. They are from the spider species.
Into my
no, I'm not. I'm going to shove it in now.
Man, you enjoy this work far too much, Prof. You really do. You are the mastermind. Now I'm beginning to understand the title.
So the commonest, so what we do is there are two very common species of house dust mite. Tyrannosinus and Farinase. So here what we do is we take a small amount of a drop there like that, and we put it on the skin.
What's in that drop?
It's a million
proteins,
or so
proteins.
Dust mites, I'm thinking.
It's just the proteins.
The proteins from
of the dust mite.
So you had to get like 1 million dust mites and
it's called
extract.
Exactly, it's called an extract. That's exactly right. Yeah. So it's an extract.
How many dust mites had to die so that you could do this?
Don't even
they farm them. They farm them. Believe it or not.
Wow. Get out.
Now.
Okay, now the prick.
Now tiny. It's got a tiny.
It is. It does. It's a blade. He just took the blade to me.
Of course, with surgically.
There we go.
Clean
equipment. For expressing
Sorry, I was meant to hold your hand during that moment of trauma.
Just for listeners out there, you hardly feel it, right?
No,
even though Graham's saying,
I've seen more than I've felt. To be honest, the itch is real, man. The itch is real. Now the pinprick is negligible.
Yeah, so you put it on, you do the tiny little pinprick, and then you just we just take off the drop, and now we would leave that and leave that for 10-15 minutes, and then what we'll do is if you get a little wheel there, we compare the size of that to your histamine wheel. Okay. And in order for it to get a positive reaction, you need to be 3 millimeters bigger than this negative. So your negative is 0, which is great. Okay. And then I've got a little ruler that I take out here, and then I can measure exactly how many. So your histamine is already 7 or 8 millimeters. Right, so basically any 3 or 4 millimeter there would consider a positive.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it works.
Having discussed what we did earlier on, Alicia, and about not just the increase in pollen, but the effectiveness of that pollen to carry larger molecules of the protein that would then make them even more allergenic, would you suggest that people retest? That have tested positive before, and those that maybe have never tested positive before because now they have a larger exposure to those proteins.
I think, like I was saying, as we age, our immune system weakens, that kind of thing. So it's really important to get retested. You might have other allergies that come about, or new allergies that, if you've never had allergies, that you might get later in life. And it does really happen. People often say, but I've never had allergies before, and they do get them. So it is good to get them retested.
What's the best treatment? Is there a kind of a blanket? Is it just antihistamines? How do we approach it?
There's a variety, so it depends.
I feel like I'm about to sneeze, just to reinforce everything that we're going on about here, yeah?
So depending on how mild your allergies are, so normally in hay fever, if they're mild, you would go for an antihistamine over-the-counter products. If they worsen, then your doctor would prescribe you other medication like a corticosteroids. You also get natural ways to do it, so to clear out your nasal system. There's also called Nexa Allergy, which is a powder nasal spray that helps to prevent or create a barrier around the nose so that it prevents all your airborne allergies and germs. So there are many ways, but it is best to speak to your doctor if you feel like it is getting worse by the day.
Professor Peter, how many people are actually affected by allergies in South Africa?
So the data we have suggests that for hay fever sufferers, it's close to 17 million. So 20% of South Africans will suffer. Wow. And a sizable portion of them will suffer with asthma as well, right? So we have a couple of million people. Yeah, so asthma is the one that's more life-threatening. Obviously, allergic rhinitis is really morbid in that it causes you to miss work or feel sick the whole time. So it's also more of a burden, but fortunately not life-threatening.
Not like asthma. So I know we've only had one real reaction that I can see or feel. The itch test. So what would you read from my results? That I'm cool?
So at the moment, so at the moment, the pollens definitely are negative for you. So it doesn't appear that you have seasonal allergies. Similarly, we talk, cats also have come up negative, so that's all reassuring. But I wouldn't be surprised if you've had house dust mites because they are kind of all year round. So that can be common. What we've left off here for a bigger panel is we would look at things like molds. So quite common in the Cape, we'll see mold allergies. We look also at an extended section of trees, and that's one of the reasons why we've also been doing the pollen monitoring and why people should look out, is because we can actually now identify exactly which tree might be pollinating. So there might just be like a 2-week period of the year where you're sneezing, whatever, and that might be because plane trees are flowering at that time.
Plane tree
and
in your garden.
Yeah, exactly. In your house.
And then the advantage of knowing is that you can then tie that and make that connection, right? Where you might think you've got a cold or something, as Alicia mentioned. Yeah, so that sort of thing. And then we'd also look at cockroach. Believe it or not, cockroach can cause a problem, and then other animal danders, right? That would be the common sort of section for what we can breathe in. We call those aeroallergens.
I thought you'd do the dog test at least. Surely that's the one that everyone's allergic to dogs, man. If you're going to be allergic to something.
Dogs at home, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine with dogs. I'm fine with mites. I'm cool, man. Thank you. That was really interesting. Really interesting and mildly irritating.
Thank you very much.
Just mildly irritating.
So if you do suffer from airborne allergies, it's worth seeing a healthcare professional to fully understand which allergens trigger you and what your treatment options are. And you can also visit pollencount.co.za to view the pollen count in your area and to also donate to the pollen monitoring campaign.
I'm having like a whole psychosomatic reaction here, I think.
You're okay.
I don't know if I am. I don't know. I feel like I'm about to sneeze.
I got my EpiPen ready to go. Just boom,
I do actually have my EpiPen.
Pharmacodynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
This is Season 9 of Tropica Island of Treasure. Welcome to Curacao in the Caribbean.
Buy Tropica and come find your smooth fame and fortune. WhatsApp the keyword TIOT9 to 063 921 8395 for audition details. And stand a chance to win your share of a smooth 1 million rand. Grab a Tropica for details and see you in paradise.
The more Tropica you buy, the more chances you have to win hundreds of thousands of prizes. Tropica, nothing smooth.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
We will turn your guilt trips into good trips. Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstar.co.za.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, live right here on SABC3. Now, did you think that today was really going to be an ordinary Tuesday? You were wrong. You were mistaken. Not with Travel Start. It won't be. The Travel Start Blue Sky Sale is here to add a sprinkle of wow to your week from today until the 1st of November. Keep your eyes peeled to get those massive savings on flights to your favorite destinations. Now, Travel Start's Lee Watts and John Lee Ritchie, they join us in studio with the lowdown on these ridiculously hot deals on domestic and international flights, holiday packages, and a whole lot more. Gents, always so good to have you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Sure. So, Lee, what exactly is the Travel Start Blue Sky Sale happening this week? What is it all about? What's all of this hype about?
Well, it's deserved hype. It's 5 days consecutively of the best deals that the market has brought to us. We've been really blessed in that we've come in with some of the most cosmopolitan cities and deals to boot. Things like, I don't know, New York, Lisbon, London, Istanbul. You know, have a look online. You'll find some of the most surprising prices offers attached to some of the most bucket list-based routes.
You got me excited. You really got me excited. Now, John, give us the Travel Start Blue Sky sale exclusive on which cities and which holiday specials will be leading the week. Which ones are leading the week? Or these?
Well, as Lee said, there are so many, but a few I could highlight. I mean, you're looking at things like Joburg Dubai return from less than 5-1 per
Get out
person.
of here.
No
Get
ways.
out.
Yeah.
You can leave the couch and leave.
Yeah, Istanbul to Cape Town return under 8.3, just under 8.3.
Yeah.
Lisbon a return from Joburg or Cape Town actually 6,999, and then Auckland from Joburg under 15,000.
Wow.
That's amazing.
This is mind-blowing.
It's really good.
This is absolutely mind-blowing, even for you, even for you,
Auckland,
Lee.
15K.
So,
that's incredible.
Yeah, but you've got these, these leading deals running for 3 days only, and we obviously want to get our hands on the hot deals. Everybody does, I'm sure, watching at home right now. But when are these flights valid for travel?
Tough question to answer because it varies. It really does depend on which flights you're looking at. The best advice I could give is when you see a special, because all the information's on our website, go into it a little bit more. You will find the validity dates, when you can travel. It's also based on availability, so you must remember there has to be the seat available for us to give it to you at that price. When in doubt, phone us. I mean, if you're struggling a little bit, just give us a call. The sales team will happily take you through it and find something for you.
Yeah, and they're so fantastic. You literally give those guys a call and it feels like you're chatting to a friend that's arranging your holiday for you.
I call them the safest hands in travel.
The safest hands in travel. You don't get a lot of that these days.
No, actually, no.
So where can people get more information and find these amazing deals and more beyond this particular run?
So this is it. This is the #1 question, right? So you can go on over to allthews.travelstart.co.za.
Yeah.
Go on to whether it's iOS or Android, download Flap app powered by TravelStart. All the deals will be listed there.
Nice.
Sign up for our mailer. You can subscribe and get some of the latest deals available. I'm a big fan of sending us things like smoke signals, carrier pigeons, little puppies with notes. But worst case scenario, give us a call and we'll make that dream come true. It's one of my favorite sales to be involved in. It's probably one of the best types of routes versus price that you can get. And it's super exciting, guys. In fact, if I wasn't working in a Travel Start, I certainly would have purchased a lot by now.
But you're definitely also getting it from the safest hands in travel as well. So you need to get in touch with them. Guys, thank you so much. I'm sure your phone lines are going to be going off the hook just now with everybody calling. Well, the sky is the limit on massive flight savings. Now is not the time to be hesitating, because if you blink, the opportunity for a dream holiday will be gone for sure. Book flights online today, holiday tomorrow. Don't you wish every Tuesday was a blue sky sale day? Just another amazing way that Travel Start are making sure that you enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with travelstart.co.za. Get that app as well. Download that on Android or even Apple. It's called Flap. It'll change your life. It is holidays and travel and destinations in the palm of what? Your hands. We love it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's time right now for you to win with Smooth, Fame and Fortune, and of course, Tropical Island of Treasure Season 9. Big question, have you entered yet? What? No? What are you waiting for? There's a chance for you to win a shared 1 million rand alongside a celebrity contestant partner. I mean, if you've ever dreamt of being a TV or radio star like Anga and Bongs or Lizanne and Brendan Paper, your time is now. In fact, let's find out how many days you've got left to enter the experience of a lifetime. We got, let's say, 2 days. Yes, I can confirm with you. 2 days, 48 hours. That is all that you have left to enter hashtag TIOT9. And you can enter by sending the WhatsApp message and the keyword TIOT9. Send that through to 063-921-8395 and we'll send you all of the entry details. Remember, time is getting tight. We're talking 48 hours left. So enter now if you want smooth fame and fortune. WhatsApp the keyword TIOT9 to the number 063-921-8395 for all of the entry details. Terms and conditions and more information can be found on the website tropica.co.za. Don't let the smoothness pass you by.
My feel-good breakfast show. feel-good breakfast show. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. It is Expresso Morning Show on SABC 3. Thank you so much for choosing to wake up with us this morning. We're jamming into the world of entertainment news where the stars always give us something to talk about.
And there's lots to talk about.
Always.
Celebrations abound right now in the United States for Halloween. That is coming up this Thursday. And this past Sunday, beauty mogul and Keeping Up with the Kardashians star, Kylie Jenner, took to Instagram to share her adorable daughter, Stormy Webster's Halloween costume. Well, while most toddlers are usually expected to dress up as animals or pumpkins or famous movie characters, it seems that Stormy has broken free from those chains, from those expectations, and sought inspiration from home by channeling her famous mom in her iconic 2019 Met Gala.
Don't lie, let's see it.
So
Where
that's
is
it there. And then on Sunday, there was a post put up captioned, "My baby," with infinite exclamation marks and purple heart emojis. I can't handle this. And it features Stormy in a miniature version of her mother's form-fitting bedazzled feather lilac Versace dress, including the long flowing lavender wig. What on earth?
Wow.
It happened.
It actually took place. It actually, look at
it. It is occurring in our lifetime.
The hair laid like a magical carpet of yas, queen.
Stormy's dad, Travis Scott, left a heart emoji underneath that image, while other users on Instagram praised Stormy. Another user put those praise hands emojis, writing simply, "She won." So who do you think wore this look best?
Oh, man, it's a difficult one. It's an absolutely difficult one.
I'm just like, afterwards, how do you then get her to stand still? You're like, "Stormy, stand still. I'm just gonna take a picture."
But also, after you've given her such a slay look, how does she go back to just like her basic look without exactly? After this, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? What can she possibly do? Beautiful.
Let us know. Well, you said you were planning a cool look for Halloween. Are you doing a lilac dress? What are you doing?
I'm not doing a dress at all.
What are you doing?
I'm thinking the Joker, maybe.
Ah,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Anel, our makeup artist here, might give me a bit of a Joker expression.
Chocolate Joker.
Ah, my boy. My boy, stick around, you will go far.
Anyway, someone else who seems to be in a celebratory mood is none other than British singer-songwriter Adele, who's had quite an emotional year. We know that after announcing her separation from her ex-husband and baby daddy, Simon Konecki. Now, she's been spending a lot of time in the States living her best life by the looks of things, going on holiday and hopefully plugging all of her emotions into her next hit album, which fans are anticipating and waiting for with bated breath. Well, we now know for certain that the work that she's been doing behind closed doors involves working on her fitness. And on Sunday, she made us her witness by posting on Instagram, captioning, "I used to cry, but now I sweat.
I literally thought this was Ariana Grande.
What? No, that's Adele. But I think it's the curly thing next to the side.
Yeah,
what do they call that? The edges?
The edges, yeah.
She's laid it like Ariana Grande. Anyway, so this caption accompanies a picture of a blissed out Adele attending her buddy Canadian rapper Drake's 33rd birthday party. Other pictures show how the gorgeous crooner is looking these days, with the 15-time Grammy winner reportedly losing more than 6 kilograms while working out with her friend Ada Field. And while fans have been also sending outpouring praise for her new figure, we think that if Adele's bouncing back onto the scene means finding her self-confidence in the gym, then more power to her. Come on, honey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring it.
And we love her no matter how she looks anyway. I mean, she's given us some of the greatest hits, some of the greatest memories. And if she's living her best life like this, that's what we like.
Yeah. Oh, man, she looks amazing. So svelte.
The Joker, you say, huh?
Yes, I said that.
Which Joker?
The one now that's out.
New fans.
I think you'll make a beautiful Joker. Well, I still come to terms with my allergies this morning. I tell you one thing, Princess, I'm not allergic to is a fresh muffin. What have you got for me this morning?
Blueberry muffin.
I will take it. I'll take 2, in fact. I'll share with the rest of the team. So you can recharge. We're going to continue, as we said, with a jam-packed Medical Tuesday this morning. It is World Stroke Day, so we're going to do our part to raise awareness around something that affects many South Africans. We'll bring you the latest figures while I enjoy my Just Rewards. Thank you so much. I guarantee you I'm not allergic to this. Thank you, dear.
Thanks.
Yummy.
A taste loved by those who have tried it. McAfee, great coffee, simple. See you after the break.
It's your time to shine with Orbit Gum and Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition. Follow the journey as the top contestants work through weeks of grueling challenges, fighting for one of 2 presenter spots on Expresso, all to be decided in a nail-biting finale. It's your time to shine with Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition. Wednesday evenings at 7:30, repeat Saturdays at 1, only on SABC 3.
There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. There's nothing smoother than winning when you buy Tropica. To enter for Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, buy any size and your favorite flavor of Tropica in fresh or long life. Find the unique code behind the label or the sticker. Then follow the entry details on the pack and you could win daily prizes of airtime, cash, LG Q60 smartphones, 55-inch LG UHD smart artificial intelligence digital TVs, steam dishwashers, Caribbean tan hampers, or guest watches. That's more than 100,000 prizes. days. Now, for your chance at competing in Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, record a video audition of yourself describing how you would outsmooth your competition on the island. Then load that video onto Instagram, Twitter or Facebook with hashtag TIOT9 or WhatsApp the video to 063-921-8395. And it could be you winning a share of 1 million rand plus smooth fame and fortune while flying with KLM to the Caribbean for this season of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Tuesday mornings on your Feel Good Breakfast show feels so good. Thank you for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now let's talk about strokes. A stroke can happen to anyone at any time and anywhere. In fact, 1 in 4 of us is at risk of a stroke in our lifetime. World Stroke Day is commemorated today, and so to raise awareness of the symptoms of a stroke and how it can be prevented, we are here with Dr. Naeem Ray, who's here to actually create awareness, because it's something that we don't speak much about.
Yep. We don't know much about.
Exactly, and that's what today is all about. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Bray.
It's so good to have you here. Doctor, many of us, we've heard of strokes, or we know someone who has experienced one, but we don't know what it is exactly. Maybe let's start off with the basics. What happens to the body when someone has a stroke?
Sure, so that's an excellent question. So maybe the best way to think about it is probably like a heart attack, like a brain attack. So the brain obviously has many important functions, but a blockage in an artery or a rupture in an artery will leave you with a stroke. So what does that mean physically? Well, if you think about it, who's the boss?
The brain.
Well said. So to all the other specialists out there, no, I'm kidding. But fundamentally, the brain, if you want to think of it in a way, is the control module. And with a stroke, you block an artery in certain control modules, and then you lose function. So that might be weakness in a face, arm, or a leg. Or it might be your speech center. So you no longer understand speech. Or it might be in terms of vision. So you may start having blurred vision or losing vision in either the left or the right side. So really the way strokes present can be quite varied. But that's part of the reason I'm here to raise awareness. And so that if someone is having a stroke, don't sit at home. Really. The thought should be, I think I'm having a stroke, or someone else should then realize you're having a stroke and then take you to the ER.
Immediately.
And now, as a consultant neurologist at Tygerberg Hospital, you must encounter very many different kinds of strokes. Firstly, I didn't even know that they come in different types of strokes. Let's talk about that.
Sure. So in terms of the 2 broad categories, there's an ischemic stroke. Basically, it's a blockage in an artery. Right? So remember, arteries, they bring fresh blood, oxygenated blood, glucose, all the good things. And as I mentioned a bit earlier, the brain's the boss. It's really a hog. It consumes the bulk of the oxygen, the bulk of the glucose in the body. So when you have a blockage to an artery, you lose function, right?
Because now the glucose and the oxygen cannot get to the brain.
Where it needs to be, precisely. So either it's a blockage or you have a rupture of an aneurysm, and then you have hemorrhage into the brain. And then you still don't supply the brain correctly. And so strokes can be broadly split into ischemic or hemorrhagic. That's basically a blockage or rupture. And then further on, we get many different types of strokes, but those are the main groups.
Dr. Naeem Bray, I've definitely had family members or relatives who have had a stroke and didn't know that they had a stroke. So what are some of the signs that people must look out for, that you know you're about to have a stroke or that you've just had a stroke?
Sure. So there's a very nice acronym called Think Fast, right? So FAST stands for face. Is your face looking a bit skew? Is your face drooping? Arm. So you get your family member to put out their arms, and then you check to see if it's drifting or if they're unable to lift it. So there's arm. And then there's S for speech. Is their speech dysarthric or garbled? You know, or does their speech sound unintelligible? Does it sound as if they're speaking a different language? I know it sounds bizarre. And then T is for time. What is the time? And don't waste time. So think fast. Face, arm, speech, time.
time. Okay. Wonderful.
So think stroke, think fast.
Yeah, all right. We really do appreciate you being here, Dr. Bray, to educate us and create awareness on this World Stroke Awareness Day. And when we come back, we'll be talking about the fact that having a stroke is preventable and exactly how you can go about making those certain lifestyle changes that will hopefully help you to prevent one. So if you have any questions to ask, please throw them our way on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page.
If you are tired and having trouble focusing, you may not be getting enough food high in vitamin B. So dietitian Shirley Meltzer, who has now become a friend and promised me breakfast, joins us in the kitchen this morning to show us how we can make some very healthy, delicious oatmeal crumpets that give us a good boost of protein from the eggs, obviously. And of course, the bananas are little health bombs in themselves, but this is packed full of fiber, potassium, many other essential vitamins and minerals. So let's get started. Shirley, first of all, welcome back. I was dropping major hints the last time I had you here that we're going to actually cook, because we spoke so much about food that we needed to actually do something practical that we can make. And I'm loving the ingredients list. This is very much along the lines that I would choose to eat anyway. But first of all, what are you making for us? Can you describe them?
Okay, what I thought we'd do is something very quick, economical, and you don't have to be a top chef to do this. And there's a lot of flexibility in terms of you can add certain things, you can subtract certain things, but I'll take you through it as we go along.
As we go. Okay, so we're going to end at these beautiful crumpets, and they do look gorgeous. So as you go through, maybe you can talk about the vitamin kind of a nutritional quotient of what's going in with each ingredient.
Let's do that. So we're going to start off with our oats, and here we've got 60 grams of oats, fabulous source of vitamin B1 and B6, and it's whole grain, and also hidden in that we've got a lot of fiber. To that we're going to add some unsweetened cocoa. There's some B1 in here as well, but there are other compounds, what we call polyphenols or antioxidants. To that, we're going to add some banana. Now, as you said, the hero, ripe banana specifically, very rich in vitamin B6. And as we know, vitamin B6 is so important, like B1, in terms of how we metabolize or how we release the energy that we get in the food.
Okay, so it's one thing getting the energy-rich food, but then you've got to be able to actually access that energy as well. Okay.
We cut about 2 bananas, and we'll use 1 to mix in, because I always like to save some as well. And then we're going to add a pinch of salt. Okay. Pinch of salt. And then we've got some baking powder. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon. And then yogurt, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of yogurt.
Getting our calcium and which of the vitamin Bs would be in the
B12. B12. Very, very good source of B12. And then we're going to throw in an egg. Okay, for more B12.
Absolute favorite.
Protein.
This is the one part of the kitchen that I do know. There we go.
Okay, let's give it a blast. Okay.
Beautiful.
Right.
That was simple
so there's
enough,
your mix, simple enough.
Wow.
So, as I said, you don't have to always add the unsweetened cocoa powder, but just using oats as your base with yogurt, you can make, and fruit, you can make a birch muesli, like overnight oats. You just take oats and about the same amount of yogurt and grate an apple into it and add a few nuts and seeds into it. Seeds, of course, are another very good source of vitamin B. Let that soak overnight, and in the morning serve it with a bit more extra yogurt and a few extra nuts and a banana. When it comes to serving those, as you can see for the finished lot over there, we've added a little bit of date Ceylan, which is date syrup, which is another fabulous source of vitamin B6.
Wow.
If you don't have date syrup, you can just cut up a couple of majil dates and serve it with the bananas on top, or even use a little bit of honey.
A little bit of honey. For breakfast specifically, to be able to get that power punch of vitamin B and the vitamins that we need, some other nice
some
kind
other
of ideas?
I mean, you can take the date Ceylan, for example, and have some whole grain toast or whole wheat bread and put on a little bit of tahina paste or a nut butter, and then just use a little bit of the date syrup as well. And if we're looking for a good option, pilchards and even your trout or salmon, you can have salmon, trout and egg on toast, or avocado pear. Your egg, I mean, just as we said, egg is a good package of vitamin B12 plus all your amino acids.
Making an adjustment to a healthier diet had to be difficult or time-consuming, what we've done right now in the literally last 5 minutes proves you otherwise. Easy, healthy banana oat crumpets are a very healthy, obviously, and nice and filling breakfast served with some maybe fresh fruit, that chopped up banana. You can take it in a number of directions, but literally made in minutes. So let's be active about getting enough vitamin B for the day through our diet, and easy recipes like this. Start it with your morning meal. Plan around that. I cannot wait to get making and tasting some of these delicious and healthy snacks as well. In fact, I'm going to taste one right now because it is my right. Shelley, you are a genius.
I thought you were going to invite me.
Oh, no. These are for me. You can have those now. No, we both earned a taster. You've got to taste our wares.
Healthy snacking inspiration on a Tuesday here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
And it's a medical kind of Tuesday. Today is also the 29th of October, which is World Stroke Day. And we're helping to create awareness around strokes, understanding them better, and we'll be discussing the myths around strokes after this as well with Dr. Naeem Bray. So make sure that you stay tuned. For that.
And if you're wondering earlier on about those healthy snacks and you want to know how you can make these really easy, healthy banana oat crumpets that are sure to give you a boost for the day, make sure you visit expressoshow.com for the recipe and the ingredients list. We've put it out there for you to enjoy. See you after this.
On the penultimate episode of the next brand ambassador, the remaining contestants take on the ultimate challenge, selling tickets and dealing with celebrities. It's make or break as they push to ensure they survive the last elimination round. And in the boardroom, one finalist's dream gets dashed, while the others make the final 5. That's the next brand ambassador, Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. only on SABC3.
Join former Miss World Dr. Relene Strauss and the ever so suave Nico Panaggio as they host this year's Pink Polo presented by Biomedical Emporium on the 9th of November at Valdevie Estate. With proceeds going to breast cancer awareness, be part of SA's Who's Who saying hello to summer with a day of polo, fashion, sunshine and celebrity in the Winelands at the Pink Polo presented by Biomedical Emporium.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, live on SABC3. It's a Tuesday. It's a medical Tuesday, and today we're talking about strokes because it is World Stroke Awareness Day. Did you know that a stroke can happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time as well? 1 in 4 of us has a stroke, basically.
In our lifetime.
In our lifetime.
Very scary.
And that is a conversation that we are having with our guest this morning, Dr. Naeem Bray, who is, of course, a consultant neurologist at Tygerberg Hospital and a lecturer at Stellenbosch University, who is helping us unpack this very important, is it a condition? This very important conversation that we're having this morning.
Let's pick up the topic on talking about some of the myths that surround strokes as we further try to understand them. There's a myth that if you get the smell of burning toast, that you are about to have a stroke. Truth or myth?
I want to go with myth.
Yes, okay. Yes. Where does this come from? Why do people make things up like this just to further confuse us?
I'm not sure. I think sometimes there are false associations.
Yes.
So sometimes an event happens and you want to tie it to something else.
Okay.
Right? So that's definitely a myth. And another myth I think that we need to dispel is it's going to get better. So the large majority of patients I see, and I ask them, why did they not come sooner? I thought it's going to get better.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is a myth. When you are having a stroke, when a loved one is having a stroke, even if things are improving a little bit, it's an absolute emergency, and you have to go to the emergency center as soon as possible. So the biggest myth I see is it's going to get better.
Yeah.
It might improve a bit, but you need to rush.
And as Dr. Bray did allude to earlier on, think fast is what you need to think about. And F standing for the face, A for the arm, whether that arm can be kept up. You ask a family member to hold up both arms. If one of them drops slightly or they're unable to hold it, that's an indication. S, alluding to speech, whether their speech sounds unintelligible, sounds maybe garbled. And time, the fact that you don't have much time. Once it's happened, there's no kind of questioning of maybe we'll go tomorrow, let's see if the symptoms get better. It is an emergency.
It's a big warning when that happens. But doctor, who's likely to get a stroke? Is it older people more likely to get a stroke than more younger?
Okay. So that is actually a fantastic question. So it's definitely older people. But having said that, we are seeing a change in society in that younger and younger people are having diseases of lifestyle. So there are more young, there are so many young adults who are overweight, who are hypertensive, who are diabetic. So really, we are seeing a number of younger strokes. I mean, recently in our ward, we had 21-year-olds, a 26-year-old, and I think it was 32. Amongst older patients, for sure. And the bulk is certainly older patients, but there's a real change. And one of the drivers is the lifestyle changes that we are seeing, as well as HIV might be a potential risk factor for stroke as well.
Yeah, and we'll talk about further risk factors right now, you know, just to maybe reflect on how serious this is. The fact that early on you were telling us that some 300 strokes occur every day in the country, of which 60 are fatal. People die from strokes, 60 of them every single day.
And I think you need to add a further phrase to that, in South Africa alone.
Just in South Africa.
Over 300 strokes a day, right? And if you think about it, really, that number 1 in 4 needs to sink in, because that's, and I'm going to point around, but that could be 1, 2, 3, me. 1 in 4.
25% of us. That's a lot of people.
It's a big number.
And doctor, which common medical conditions can increase your chances of having a stroke? I know you mentioned HIV, for example, but what are the other ones?
So this gets to my favorite topic when speaking about stroke, and that is, how do we prevent stroke? Because at the end of this, I want everyone to realize strokes are an absolute emergency, strokes are preventable, and strokes are treatable. So in terms of how do we prevent strokes, hypertension is probably the biggest driver, and then lack of exercise. And lack of exercise is something I think we don't teach well as doctors. We don't educate our patients very well. So I've changed my tack, and I've become slightly more aggressive, if you will, in terms of telling people what we need to do. And so I've got a simple rule. I don't necessarily say you have to be in a certain heart rate and so on, but if you're not sweating, it's not exercise. And then also, the longer you sit on your buttocks, the bigger they get, right? So it's just a sign that we all need to try and be more active. It's hard work, and that's why we don't necessarily always educate our patients, because it's hard for doctors and for our patients.
So much for us to learn from consultant neurologist and lecturer Dr. Naeem Bray on this World Stroke Day. We have one more chat with him coming up, where we'll further discuss exactly what to do if somebody is experiencing a stroke right now in front of you. What are the steps to take as we further seek to discover and learn more about strokes on this World Stroke Day?
So now we've encountered them before and we love it. Crush Goodness will continue sharing the goodness for a 3rd year now in the hopes of changing the lives of school children in need. They aim to donate another 20,000 pairs of school shoes across the entire country to underprivileged schools. They're also asking you guys to help share the goodness as well with your loved ones by purchasing your favorite Crush. You can enter with the details on the pack, standing the chance of winning your share of 500,000 Rand in cash. So go buy a Crush, help hashtag share the goodness. And we're about to cross now live to Rudaport Primary School, where Tsolo catches up with brand ambassador Dineo Moketsi, who is hugely emotionally invested in one of the coolest campaigns we've certainly encountered on this show.
Well, my dad. A very good morning to Expresso family, and man, what an electrifying energy is it out here at Rudaport Primary this morning. Now, according to statistics South Africa, about 70% of school kids walk to school every single day, many of them without school shoes, many of them walking with damaged shoes, and that is exactly how Clover comes in with a Crush Goodness campaign. They are planning to donate 20,000 pairs of school shoes across the country, which is such an amazing initiative, and to help them do this is, of course, one of the campaign ambassadors, Dineo Langa. Dineo, when Clover called you and said, hey man, let's do this, let's be part of this campaign, why did you jump on it?
You know, I think we all need to tap into that inner child that used to get excited for school shoes. If you think about the beginning of any school year, a child gets excited about stationery, what they're going to color with, or, you know, what they're going to wear if they have a new blazer. And it's just one of those things that for them is so exciting. And in tapping into that, I decided, actually, why not? You know, every child deserves just that little bit of happiness. And I said, absolutely, let's do it.
And for you, what does being part of such a special, necessary campaign mean?
For me, it means creating a legacy of making sure that children who are not able to receive in their own capacities at home, that we can create those opportunities. We'll constantly ask for different things in our different spaces as artists, and the opportunity to give back, the opportunity to engage with the people you're giving back to doesn't come so often. To see that grassroots level is where we all started. And when you sit and you stand in front of these kids, you say, your life, looking at me, is absolutely possible in every which way.
I mean, there's so many of our viewers at home sitting, watching, and wondering how they can be part of this campaign. Yeah. What message do you have for them?
Oh, please make sure that you do buy a Crush juice, because in buying a Crush juice, everybody can make sure that they donate to the Crush Goodness campaign in our quest to actually create another 20,000 pairs to donate nationwide. So please, everybody must make sure, sorry, it's quite windy here, so I'm a bit teary. It's not emotion. But everybody must make sure that they do get tons and tons and tons of Crush juice to make sure that we make this initiative even bigger, and hopefully we can donate more school shoes to different schools, even in other countries, hopefully.
Thank you very much, Dineo. And as you guys have heard at home, it's so easy to get involved with the campaign, and it's so necessary that we really change lives, put smiles on these little faces. But for now, it's back to you guys in studio. When we get back, we are going to be chatting to Deputy Vice President of Rudaport Primary School, and she's going to be telling us a little bit more about the campaign and what it means for them to have the Crush Goodness journey choose them.
Support Crush in giving away another 20,000 pairs of school shoes to children in need. Buy a Crush, dial the number on the pack, and stand the chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand. Hashtag share the goodness. Made with love by Clover.
Well, this has to be one of my favorite campaigns that Clover Crush runs every year. I get excited on this time of the year because you already start thinking about the school year for the little ones next year, and to think about so many of them who just go to school without shoes.
Yeah, and it's going to make a massive difference.
And you've got to excite them about that as well, hey? Like, there's nothing like a brand new pair of school shoes to excite you about going back to class. Like walking the first few days like this.
Feeding yourself.
You don't want to...
Keeping them looking awesome. So an awesome campaign. We'll continue to track exactly how we can get involved there, and you also have an opportunity to win. And then we're going to continue with World Stroke Day. What's that acronym again? Think
fast. Yeah. You got to look at your face, whether the either side of your face is drooping. There's the arm test. You ask your family member to lift both arms, and if one of them is kind of falling and they are unable to keep it up, that's an indication.
Correct.
You pay attention to the speech, whether they're slurring or it's unintelligible or garble, as the doctor described. And then also thinking about the time, the fact that once it's happened, you need to get to the emergency room right now. There's no, let's wait until later.
Let's see how it gets better.
It's better. It doesn't get better. It's not a stomach pack.
Think fast. Love that. We'll continue that discussion after the break. Very important Medical Tuesday.
Catch the grand finale for Presenter Search on 3, the Expresso edition, this Wednesday evening at 7:30.
Graduate Kutle Adams, marketing specialist Dean Woodman, comedian Nathaniel Davids, and model and mother Jamie Lee Domberg compete for their time to shine as two new faces on your feel-good breakfast show. Join us Wednesday evening at 7:30, repeat Saturday at 1, only on SABC3. The stage is yours.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, on just this Tuesday, the 29th of October, World Stroke Day. We have a neurologist, a consultant and lecturer at Stellenbosch University, Dr. Naeem Bray. We're talking about all the signs and symptoms of a stroke. We understand that more than 300 strokes take place daily in South Africa.
It's a lot.
60 of those are fatal. So much for us to be aware of and to truly understand. So thank you very much for helping to spread the awareness and educate us as a public, Doctor.
Sure.
Doctor, so, you know, when someone has a stroke and you're with them in the house,
yes.
First of all, you often probably might not know that they're having a stroke unless you really have paid attention to these symptoms we've spoken about. What should you be doing? What do you do? What's the first thing as a reactive measure that you do when you see someone having a stroke?
That is a superb question and very important, right? So the first thing is make sure they're safe. So if they're standing and they're looking a bit wobbly, or if they're sitting and they seem to be falling over, maybe lie them down. Then you call an ambulance. This is critical, right? If you don't have access to an ambulance, or if it's unreliable, try and get them to a hospital with a CT scanner, so a hospital. Avoid taking them to the GP or clinic, straight to the hospital, because the treatments that are available are very time dependent. So you don't really have much options in terms of delaying things, seeing if it's getting better, as I said. So what you want to do is make sure they're safe, call an ambulance. So if our viewers, in fact, can do something positive today, they need to find out what is the number for their local ambulance service.
Oh, yes.
Put it on their phone, put it on the fridge. An emergency is not the time to go, oh, where do I find this number?
Yeah.
You know, how do you prepare for emergency? Not in the emergency. It's before. So think about it. Put it on the fridge, put it on your phone.
As an emergency. Okay, I'm going to ask this question, which might sound a bit silly, but for completeness sake, in terms of making a person suffering from a stroke safe, i.e. watching out whether they're going to fall over, if they're standing or sitting, but also you've seen it in movies before where they kind of seem to press the person's tongue down if something's happening. Do not.
Thank you for asking that question. Do not do that. Even if someone is having a fit or a seizure, don't put anything in their mouth.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So that's a slightly a different topic, but do not put things in their mouth to prevent them from biting or anything like that. Just lie them on their left side, ideally, and that's during seizures. Yeah.
Are there instances where the person having a stroke is not aware that they're having a stroke, but the person that's sitting with them may see them presenting with signs of what could be a stroke?
Exactly. So if someone, for example, has facial weakness, you have no idea what's happening to your face. The first time you may recognize it is when you look into the mirror. Or you may notice that you've got some dribbling. So sometimes it's more obvious to the person next to them than the patient themselves. So when we were speaking about the speech, sometimes people have a speech deficit called aphasia. And they end up speaking nonsense, but they don't even realize that they're making up new words. To them, they're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the most common treatment options, and perhaps we can take it from that instance when you enter the emergency room, what you can expect to happen, and then post that in terms of treatment.
No, thanks for highlighting that. So in terms of what can be done, we'll check your glucose immediately, because sometimes if your glucose is very low, it looks as if you're having a stroke. Okay. But it's not actually a stroke. So we'll check your glucose. If it's low, we'll give you some glucose, and that helps things a lot. But in terms of clearing the, if you've got a clot, which is the most common type of stroke, that's about 80%. If you have a CT scan and it shows an obstruction or it looks normal, then we can give you a special drug, a chemical, that will be able to lyse the clot or cut the clot, actually. So this is pretty amazing if you think about it. So there's a clot sitting in your brain. We'll give you a drip, and it will go to the clot and lyse the clot.
Okay.
And in fact, medical science has progressed so much that we can even, in the right centers, thread a catheter all the way from the groin over here, all the way into the brain, find the clot, remove the clot, so that you go from walking in or being unable to walk, unable to speak, to maybe after a few days walking out without assistance.
Wow. So that's just emphasizing the need for that urgent reaction when it happens.
Yes.
But to know that there is help as well, and there are really some really sophisticated treatment options that medical professionals have and that they can help you with. But what can be done to reduce the risk of a stroke? And I know that you mentioned people getting active and getting fit, but there must be other
things.
ways.
Yes, definitely. So addressing your risk factors, so knowing what you are at risk for. So treating your hypertension, treating your diabetes, treating your cholesterol. We have to do these things. Stopping smoking, and another very important thing is a healthy diet. So for example, having a diet rich in good proteins, such as fish, like Lucky Star fish, for example, good proteins, vegetable proteins, fruits and vegetables, right? So we neglect our diets, and even as a medical health practitioner, I indulge maybe a bit too much in the sweet things. I've got a sweet tooth, I cannot lie. but we all have too much salt and too much sugar. Those are the enemy, and we need to think of them as the enemy. In fact, I recently, there was a different interview, and the specialist mentioned, how do you know what's a good food? Because in these days, we have so much information. Don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat this. Paleo, high fat, low carb, vice versa. And so we're not sure. But I think a simple rule is moderation. And the closer it looks to something that resembles a natural product, the better it is for you. When you pick up a food and it has more than 20 ingredients, think again, how healthy is this for you?
Wow.
So diet is a powerful role in terms of your risk. And I think we all need to take ownership.
Yes.
You just, it's not that you are healthy just so. It's because of the work that you put in. You look after your body, it looks after you.
Oh, well summarized there. And added to that as well, the importance of having those annual medical checkups, just to generally see what you are at risk of. Dr. Bray, you are so popular right now. We're getting so many comments that we are hoping to throw your way.
All friends, I'm sure.
We're going to keep you for another segment to come, so please do stick with us. And of course, you go ahead to our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page and throw those questions and comments through to us on this World Stroke Day.
So let's continue with the feel good right now. Crush Goodness will continue sharing the goodness for a third year, we have heard, in the hopes of changing the lives of school children in desperate need. So they aim to donate another 20,000 pairs of school shoes across South Africa to underprivileged schools. And they are also asking you guys to help share the goodness with your loved ones by purchasing your favorite crush. By doing so, you enter with those details on the pack and stand the chance of winning your share of 500,000 Rand in cash. So go buy a crush, help hashtag share the goodness. We're now going to cross back live to Rudapur Primary School, where Tsolo catches up with the principal of the school, and I would imagine feeling very proud this morning.
A very good morning to you, Expresso family. We are coming to you live from Rudapur Primary School this morning, and it's all about Clover spreading the goodness through their Crush Goodness journey. And I'm joined by campaign ambassador Dino Moiketsi, who we're chatting to a little bit earlier on. Dino Langa, you got... My bad. Her surname is changed. Dino Langa, to correct that, as well as Deputy Vice Principal of Rudapur Primary School, Mrs. Van Wyk. And I'm going to start with you, Mrs. Van Wyk. Tell us more about the school and how many learners actually attend here.
We have 1,020 learners at the school. The school was previously situated in the CBD of Rudapur, but in 1956 they moved to the township here in Davidsonville. It was formerly a colored township, and we had only Afrikaans-speaking learners here. Now we are, from the 85, we are now dual medium. We are Afrikaans and English learners in the school. And the learners are very passionate to go to school, but they are really underprivileged learners that comes from underprivileged communities. Like the community itself is very underprivileged. There is lots of unemployment here, and the learners comes from squatter camps like Slangeni and Matolisville, and they are really struggling to get to school every day, and it's a struggle for the parents to get them clothes and shoes, proper shoes, and that really impacts on their attendance at school, because the children feel, you know, if I'm not proper clothed, I don't fit into the school and I don't belong. So they are feeling shy to come to school with broken shoes and clothes that are torn. And really, we feel that as far as we can, we try to help them out. But this project will mean a lot to them, to help them to get their dignity back.
And you know, I'm going to move over to you. I mean, what does it mean being here at the school, witnessing all these special little faces here today?
I think the little faces is what actually tugs at my heartstrings the most. I'm looking around at them and just the enthusiasm in their eyes. I always look at kids, and everybody always, every parent I've ever come across always says, you know, you mold a kid from knee-high to a grasshopper, and even when they're older, they need that sense of nurturing and understanding and belonging in the world. And being part of, being part of a campaign like this, you look at them and you say, it is every bit worth it. We hope that it continues. We hope that it stays on for much longer, because, you know, it starts with a Rudapur Primary School, extends to other schools, and we start to make every kid feel like you are absolutely worth the effort. You are absolutely worth the time. Understand that with Mevrou Van Wyk and ourselves, we are trying to help you build a future, build an understanding for yourself of how much of a worthy component you are in building the new South Africa, in building a new day with brands like Crush, creating opportunity for kids to understand that in their lives, they are absolutely worth our every effort, and lift their voices and say, you have an important place in our country. We're placing you on that pedestal. We're going to put you in good shoes. Please do get to school. Nobody wants you to shy away, because we look at your faces and you light up our world. We're adults. We're growing into our old ages, but you make our country brighter.
And I must say that getting a new pair of school shoes certainly has such a positive impact on their attitude towards learning. Why would you say that it's so important for this initiative to live on and to carry on?
You know, for me, it's like I said earlier, and I think, Tsulu, you went through the same thing as a kid. Every year, at the beginning of every year, kids are going, oh, look at my shoes. Oh, look at my shoes. It's a small thing, but it brings so much joy. And children need to be sheltered in that regard. We need to try and bottle up that feeling for as long as we can, for them to stay kids, for them to enjoy their childhood, for us to create a future of kids who don't have trauma or something that they're healing from. Kids who have positive memories of their upbringing is exactly what we need to aim towards. And Crush Goodness is doing exactly that, sharing the goodness and helping them understand that in their memory of schooling, an effort was made for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Mrs. Van Wyk, I'm going to move over to you once again and ask you, what does it mean for these kids to be receiving a brand new pair of shoes?
For our kids, it will mean the world, because they will really feel that there is somebody that cares for them. This program shows them that really there is people out in the world that really cares about them, and they really think that they're worth caring for, and that the parents and the learners will feel very privileged that they are part of this program, and they are chosen, and they will feel special, and they will really start their new school year with passion, because I'm also one of those privileged ones that can come to school, and I can come the first day and say, you know what, I'm ready for the new year, and I'm ready to learn, and I want to become something in life, because you know our children don't have that vision for their future, because they think, you know what, at home there's nothing. There is not even always food. There is not money for luxuries. There's not money for the basic necessities. And this will give them that sense of worth, that sense of belonging, that I'm also somebody that I can also get somewhere in life and plow back into my community and plow back one day into school, that we can belong somewhere.
As you've heard from these two ladies, this campaign is doing so much great work in ensuring that these kids really focus on learning and don't have to worry about school shoes. And you guys can also get involved at home. All you have to do to be part of this campaign and donate, or rather a pair of school shoes, just buy a bottle of Crush and dial the number at the back of the pack. And that's all it takes to add a smile on these little ones' faces. A little goodness really goes a long way. It's back to you guys in studio.
Thank you so much, Solo, doing a fantastic job there. Thank you, ladies, as well. There are thousands of reasons to add a little goodness to your day. If you want to help to spread the love, the joy, and help Crush give away another 20,000 pairs of much-needed school shoes we've just seen to those children, all you need to do is this. Get out there, buy a bottle of Crush, dial the number on the back of the pack to contribute. And remember, a little goodness does go a very long way. So you can get on that right now. In fact, we're going to take a momentary break. When we return, we're going to continue focusing in on strokes, all the information that you need to know to prevent, to lessen the risk, and of course how to treat and how to operate at the optimal time frame, which seems to be one of the most important parts. And we're going to take some of your comments through our social media platforms. Get onto Facebook right now, at Expresso Show is the handle to use as well if you want to hit us up on social media. Maybe you've got some comments, some questions you want to relate to us, an experience with a stroke. We'd love to hear from you. We'll see you in a sec.
Clover Crush, 100% pure fruit juice packed with vitamins and no added sugar. Crush your daily goodness. Now also available in long life.
Support Crush in giving away another 20,000 pairs of school shoes to children in need. Buy a Crush, dial the number on the pack, and stand the chance to win your share of 500,000 Rand. Hashtag share the goodness. Made with love by Clover.
This is Season 9 of Tropica Island of Treasure. Welcome to Curacao in the Caribbean. Buy Tropica and come find your smooth fame and fortune. WhatsApp the keyword TIOT9 to 063 921 8395 for audition details. And stand a chance to win your share of a smooth 1 million Rand. Grab a Tropica for details and see you in paradise.
The more Tropica you buy, the more chances you have to win hundreds of thousands of prizes. Tropica, nothing smoother.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. Medical Tuesday. It's been a health jam-packed show where we've discovered so much, learned so much, not just about allergies. Graham had an allergy test performed live on air, but we've also been speaking to Dr. Bray, all the way from Stellenbosch University. He's also a consultant neurologist on this World Stroke Day, learning all about ischemic strokes and hemorrhagic kinds of strokes.
We're learning so
my
much.
vocabulary is expanding.
It's expanding. Mine
Beautiful
too.
stuff.
It's insane. But also you've piqued so much interest on social media.
Yeah.
Everyone is so interested to learn and to know.
Yeah.
In fact, I saw a question from one of the viewers who wants to find out what the difference is between Bell's palsy and, of course, conventional stroke.
We'll get to that in a second, but this was a wonderful story that we've got because we've highlighted the fact that urgent reaction to a stroke is so important and can result in not just survival but better recovery as well. So this is what Colette had to say. Said, my husband suffered a cerebral stroke on the 25th of July 2015 and recovered wonderfully. Time of the stroke, it happened at 2:30 a.m. He had nausea and couldn't move or get up. We didn't think of a stroke, but luckily within an hour he was in casualty. He only suffers vertigo 24/7. Eye ailment has improved. His left arm has shakes. Speech is perfect. He's been medically boarded as he's a qualified electrician, but he can make food and coffee for himself to small amounts of driving as well. What would you comment on this, especially with reference to the fact that when it comes to the time aspect of it, you need to react?
I mean, I think that's a beautiful story because that highlights that no matter what time a stroke occurs, it's always an emergency. And you can see the positive outcomes. So he is largely able to do most things unaided. So what do we want? We want to preserve life, minimize disability. Simply. And we need the public to realize the seriousness, the gravity of strokes. And so, I mean, this is a beautiful story of a well-educated patient and their family realizing something's not right. I need help.
And then there's chance of rehabilitation as well afterwards, right?
Yes. Thanks for raising that up. I haven't mentioned that thus far, but really the rehab team is core to good outcomes in strokes. So our team, we're very fortunate at Tygerberg. We have speech therapists, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, a good nursing setup, a dietitian, and sometimes even a psychologist. Over and above the doctors, to embrace the patient, to optimize the outcome. So rehabilitation is fundamental to good stroke outcomes.
Dr. Bray, our thanks to you. You've been
really such a
fantastic knowledge. Thank you
so much for having
me. We look forward to
very
having you
much.
back, and hopefully you found that conversation very enlightening.
Thank you so much. What I've also loved is connecting with you, or you connecting with us, because it's one of our own's very special birthday today. Have a seat, have a seat. Let's put the birthday boy right here. So we wanted to quickly say happy birthday again, brother. Hopefully you're going to have a very special... Can you hear the song? That's for you.
Happy birthday to you. Hey, come on.
Let's see if anyone is connected with us on social media to wish you a happy. I'm sure you're going to get tons, but Sharina Abrams... Oh, hey, man. Hey, style, boy. Happy birthday, Kat. God's richest blessings in your life. You're such an amazing presenter. Your personality is incredible. Feel so blessed to have been watching you on Expresso since it aired for the very first time. Thanks for just being you. Enjoy your day. Lots of love. That's quite sweet.
I love you guys. Thank you very much for all the
really
love. Thank
sweet,
you for allowing me to
Happy
be
birthday! Happy birthday! Love ya!
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.